All right. Slightly different setup. My wife actually bought me like a brand new table joint for Father's Day, right? Among other things. New mug too. I'll show it to y'all. She brought me a brand new table and all that, and I'm using that for the live right now. I'm seeing how I like it because it don't require me to sit in the chair that I normally use. I normally sit on a hard ass chair, whereas now I could sit on a soft couch. I'm just trying to see if I like it, if I like how it look and I like the feel and all that. And so far, so good. A couple of subjects I want to talk about. I was actually going to do a segment on, Charlo's very recent comments, Jamal Charlo, his very recent comments about, supposedly wanting to unify, feeling that he's being overlooked, even though I don't know by who aside from Canelo and Golovkin. He want to swim with the big fish, and he just don't have it to do that. And whether his supporters like it or not, that is very much the situation. You want the attention of people that have better things to do that don't involve you. You who thought you were too good to unify with Demetrius Andrade, and now you can't have a meaningful fight to save your life. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of little different things going on. I noticed. So before I even really get into all of that, one thing I noticed that's been happening here on the channel that is very weird and very peculiar is, you guys know I actually picked Artur Beterbiev to beat Joe Smith Jr., and that's not really even a new prediction. I made that prediction 3 years ago when Matchroom tried to do the fight, because initially when Beterbiev was with them for that brief stint of time, I said that I got Beterbiev finishing this guy inside of 6. And, I noticed after the fight, when I uploaded the weekend recap video, there were all these different accounts claiming that I picked Joe Smith Jr. And I'm like, yo, what's going on in the world that you need to lie about something like that? What is going on in your life? What is wrong with you that you need to lie about something like that when it's so easy for me to debunk it? And it was something like maybe 5 or 6 accounts, all that appeared to be from foreign countries, looked like maybe countries in the Middle East. These guys were claiming that I picked Joe Smith Jr. to win. Like, when have I ever picked Joe Smith Jr. to win that fight? From 3 years ago till last week, I've been picking Artur Beterbiev to win that fight. And I noticed that, and I'm like, what is it that you're mad that I was right? You're mad that I was right about Devin Haney? Because there were people I saw that were mad about that. You're mad that I was right about Jamal Charlo knocking out Brian Castano? Because I saw that there were people that were mad at me about being right about that. And now you're mad that I picked Artur to beat Joe Smith Jr. You need to get a clue. Like, I think that mental illness is probably more prevalent in today's society than any other society before it, because what those kinds of behaviors accent to me are mental illness. Like, you're mentally ill. You have to lie to yourself or try to perpetuate a lie because for some reason you're mad at me, even though all I got to do to shoot your bullshit down is show people the video I did before the fight, the week of the fight, and show people the video I did 3 years ago in reference to that same fight where I was saying the same thing. Artur is going to stop this guy. If somebody out there doesn't like this channel, stop fucking coming here. It's not complicated. I got a weirdo in the UK named Andrew who's mad that I like the DAZN platform. That bothers him that I like the DAZN platform. Yet he comes here for the videos. Shout out to Drew. We cooking even though we sub to Dead Zone. I know, right? You know what I mean? It's this fucking freak in the UK named, not you, Drew. It's a dude in the UK named Andrew, that he got some kind of beef with Eddie Hearn. He got some issue with the zone. Whatever your fucking problem is, that is your fucking problem. You do not have to come to this channel and listen to me. The fact that you do that and then complain about it off top, that tell me something is wrong with you, because you have to open up your phone, go to YouTube, look up the channel so you could come here. You got to do a lot of shit to get here before you even get to listen to me. And the fact you doing that and complaining, I know something's wrong with you. And that's why I don't argue with these kinds of people no more. I mute them and I block them. I don't, like, Whatever you think, that's between you and God. You're not going to bother me with that shit. I will mute you and block you, and you won't be able to say shit. Then what are you going to do? You going to be mad at me? What are you going to do? Make another email so you could try to find another way to comment on my videos? I'm going to mute that shit too. I'm going to win. You going to lose, and I'm going to win. I'm going to be right. You going to be wrong. That's the way it go, because I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you, and ain't shit you could do about it. What you gonna do? Watch my videos and make me money? Summer bitch. You know what I'm saying? Que lo que, off the ropes, killy boxing, flip romp junks. Ay! Danny Fantasma. Ay! Aaron Kuka. Ay! In the building. You know what I mean? Standing 8 is in the building. And yeah, man. You know, I think it's because I'm smarter than a lot of guys, and they resent me for that, and they want me. It's not like I'm right all the time. I'm not right all the time, but because I admit it and I don't get hung up on shit, that bothers them. They're like, yeah, I'll admit when I'm wrong easily, but they don't like that. So when I'm actually right about something, it really bothers them. They'll pretend that I would like, bro, why are you lying? Why are you saying I picked Artur better beef? All I got to do is show the video I did before that fight to show I picked Artur, bro. And 3 years before that fight even got made, when Matchroom tried to make it, I said the same thing. Artur gonna knock this man out, probably inside of 6 rounds. Probably. Shit, that was my prediction 3 years ago. Might have changed a little bit. I did think it would last a little longer than it did, but the outcome was the same. I said Artur gonna knock that man out. So you, in that foreign country, watching my videos, what is wrong with you? Why don't you have friends? Go get laid. Or can you not get laid? That's what I think a lot of y'all problem is. Pussy will solve a lot of problems. That's what I think. You think you're smarter than them, Jules? Think or no? Drew, you 100% right. I don't think I'm smarter than them. I know I'm smarter than them. Fuck you. Fuck your life. You know what I mean? Fuck your life. Do something with it. But don't bother me with the shit. I don't give a fuck about what fuck you think about boxing. I say it all the time. Unless you're going to jump on this channel and debate me live, right? So I can make money off of how dumb you are. I don't care what you think about boxing. I don't care who your favorite fighter is. I don't care if they live down the street from you. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, I support the fighters from my city. I don't care, bro. Tell somebody who fucking cares. You will not get an iota of my time unless I'm making money off you. And the only reason I'm addressing these idiots is because, well, I made money off them. You watch my videos, I'm making money off you. The only way you can do anything is to not come here, which still means I win because I don't want you coming here. I said it a long time ago. This channel isn't for everybody. It's for boxing fans, not maladjusted people, not sickos and psychos and tribalists and all the ists. This channel is not for them. This channel is, put simply, for boxing fans. Fans that like boxing, that want to get all angles of a story because I do the work for you. I research the articles. I do the legwork so that you can derive your opinions, your own opinions on the information. I will admit that I put my own opinions in there too. I mean, I have opinions as well, and it's all open for discussion. But the point of the channel is to collect as much information as possible so that you don't have to go to boxing scene and bad left hook and fight hype and this and that. I've already done that for you. So you get that information from one channel. You know what I mean? That's why it's called The Relay, because I relay the information to you. This is a boxing channel for boxing fans. It's not a channel for tribalists. This is not a pro. This is a pro boxing channel. That's it. Pro boxing. Fuck. I am the alien Capricorn. I did come here to save your planet, and I am smarter than most people around here. I am. That's just the way it is. What the hell can I do? You know what I'm saying? John McSmith is in the building. Actual Factual's in the building. Colin Writers is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Chris Matthias is in the building. You know what I mean? It's a lot of, it's just, I feel that the internet has shown us a window into a world that perhaps many of us didn't know because we don't normally associate with certain kind of folk. But because the internet is so open and there's so many different people in different parts of the world talking to each other, you're going to come across a couple of nut jobs. You know what I mean? You're going to come across a couple of people that you probably wouldn't even sit up next to their ass on a bus or some shit, right? And they think that because it's the internet, that the etiquette for how you behave with strangers, that somehow it changes, when no, it doesn't. It doesn't change because you're on the internet. You don't stop being the weirdo that you are in real life because you're on the internet. I'm psychic, bro. I can see you're a fucking weirdo. There was a kid earlier this morning. I swear to God, he want to give Floyd a blowjob. Every time I see this kid, he's arguing about Floyd. Like, bro, is Floyd your father? Or is that you, Floyd? Is that you, Floyd? Arguing behind this little kid's account? My tweet today saying Hearn 2 fights with Canelo and one with AJ this year will generate more than the entire PBC budget at top-ranked PBC Golden Boy and other TGB and Samson combined. They mad, but it's the truth, though. I saw the tweet right now. I told that kid, yo, suck a dick, and I got temporarily suspended, so I can't even talk on Twitter right now because I told that kid, yo, you got to stop sucking Floyd dick, bro. Like, you a weirdo. Get off that man dick, bro. You look for people to argue with when it comes to Floyd. I don't follow you, and you don't follow me. So how the fuck could you be saying shit that I say unless you look for motherfuckers to argue with? And it's always about Floyd. Broke motherfuckers have elevated Floyd to deity status, not because of how he boxes and not because they understand the sport of boxing, for the simple fact that he made a lot of money. Your mediocre life is your mediocre business. Leave people like me alone. I don't care at all what you think about boxing. Not even a little iota of me, not even a toenail shaving of me cares what you think about boxing, bro. I don't care what most people think about boxing. I only care about me and a few others that I'm willing to speak to. Y'all know the team. Y'all know the dream team. Motherfuckers be acting like they want to like lick Floyd booty hole or some shit out here. Like, what is going on in the world, y'all? I don't understand it. Couple of interesting stories that are out there right now. Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields does have a fight date. It's towards the end of the summer. But the fight involving the homie, Alicia Baumgartner, apparently that does not have a fight date. I'm gonna ask her, you know, what's going on. If anything, I'll do an interview with her if she's free. Like, I don't know if she's free, but if there's no fight date, I can only assume that camp really hasn't started. I would like to get her back on here. Just talk the spicy shit, yo. Tell Michaela about herself. Tell us all the things, all the different ways and all the different places you gonna punch her. What's goody? Catacor in the building. Catacor's in the building, son. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I don't know how having a little boxing channel that isn't even really a huge channel. It's like there's much bigger channels than this one and much older channels than this one that have been uploading content to YouTube much longer than I have. That so many freaks and geeks and maladjusted people could have a bone to pick with me for saying what I'm thinking. If you don't like what the fuck I'm saying, then stop coming here, you bozo. The problem, the reason that you come here is because you know a good amount of the time I'm right. Good amount of the time. Didn't I tell you motherfuckers Charlo was going to knock out Castaño? Didn't I tell you motherfuckers Devin Haney was going to go down there, beat George with the jab? I ain't say that. Didn't I say 3 years ago? The video I uploaded 3 years ago, prediction was the same. Maybe what you're mad at is that you want me to be wrong. But you just want me to, because it's not like I'm not wrong. Yeah, I was wrong about AJ versus Usyk, wasn't I? I was wrong about that. But you want me to be wrong all the time. Well, that's not going to happen. I'm fucking smarter than you, all right? And you just got to fucking live with that. Got to fucking live with that. Mark was good, you know what I mean? You just got to fucking live with that and get off my dick, B. Because when I see a channel that I don't like, you know what the last thing I do is? The last thing I do is watch it. It's the last thing I do. Or worry about. I don't worry, like, I'm not worried about what whoever Joe Blow is thinking about, bro. What kind of life you got where you got to focus on me if you supposedly got a bone to pick with me? Idiots. What's good, Napoli? What it do, Jules? Shout out to the realest on YouTube. Appreciate that, bro. Out here just chilling, be it summertime, sundresses, morning, busting nuts in the morning, busting nuts late at night. It's just wonderful out here, bro. Mario, que lo que? My name, Tim Bradley. Thank you, Tim, because that's exactly what it's like for me, bro. This online experience, right, that I have had since becoming a content creator and using this as a form of income, the experience that I have had is so crazy that people will follow you just to try to say bad things about you. Like, I don't like, bro, I like, listen, if you don't like what I be uploading, you know, for the haters, don't watch me. But remember, if you're watching me, I'm making money off you. As soon as you click the video and that ad come up, that's money in my pocket. So if you really want to do something productive, don't watch me and don't bother me. You know what I mean? Shout out to Tim. I like Tim's analysis about Artur Beterbiev. He gave it post-fight. I believe it was the Fight Hype. That one of the things that makes Artur such an effective puncher is he shoots from the hip. He literally doesn't load up any of his shots. It's all straight away. When you see him shoot the jab, it's from the hip, bro. Like, it's bang. You know, he don't load it up. He never tries to throw power shots because they're all power shots. He's a two-handed puncher. He don't need to load up on nothing. So that gives off the appearance of speed when really it's efficiency. That half a second it might take somebody else to load up a shot. He don't waste that half a second. The punch get to you, which is a beautiful thing. And I said that ahead of the fight, that for me, Joe is a big puncher and a durable guy, but his punches are too wide. There's too much space in there for Artur to get up out of there, or get under there, or just slip and do. It's too much room in those punches. So even though I felt that Joe, if he lands, yeah, he could probably hurt Artur if he lands, but he telegraphs his punches so much, he not gonna land, bro. That kid Artur got amateur scraps, bro. He got amateur scraps, and he's a pressure guy, but he's more than just a pressure guy. You know what I mean? That experiment you did, yeah, thank you, Drew. Thank you, Drew. Because the only reason I did that experiment was to draw the fishies out, to see like, yo, look, I don't be bothering nobody. I be in my own little world. I do not be bothering nobody. And when you see me go live, outside of just cracking a couple of jokes, you're not even going to hear me popping shit about nobody, really, right? But let somebody say something about me, and you'll see how many people are hate watching for no reason. And I'm not hate watch. I don't hate nobody, bro. I love everybody. You know what I mean? I don't hate nobody. You know what I mean? But yeah, yo, it's wild out here, bro. Like the internet is a lot like I guess the internet is a microcosm for life and time. It's what you make it. It's what you use it for. You could use it as an effective tool to perhaps generate some cash, or you could use it to behave like a lunatic. You know what I mean? There's people that are like that, bro. Like, you'd be surprised the kind of people that, and just what they do with their time. But me, I'm minding my business, bro. I'm just a little boxing channel from a boxing fan. That's all I am. I do not claim to be an expert. I'm just a boxing fan telling people my thoughts on boxing. I picked Artur to win the fight this past weekend, and even 3 years ago when Matchroom tried to make the fight, because they did try to make the fight, but I think the Smith people wasn't receptive to it 3 years ago. 3 years ago when Artur was on Matchroom for that brief period of time, they tried to make the fight, and I said it then. Yeah, he's gonna get knocked out, man. Artur is a good, strong fighter, and most light heavyweights, they won't do that to Joe. But Artur, he's a different animal, bro. It's a different animal. You know what I mean? In any event, now the question is, what will the politics of boxing end up doing to a potential Bivol fight? You know, because the fight fans really want to see Beterbiev versus Bivol. That's what we want. But the powers that be, they're working to make a Beterbiev versus Yard fight. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Beterbiev versus Yard is really not a bad fight. Aesthetically, it'll be a fun fight. I believe it will last longer than the Smith fight. I believe it will. But it's a formality because Artur is 37. You know, he doesn't have all the time in the world. He's 37. So you need to put him in a big fight sooner than later. And if you wait to do a yard fight, then all right, well, you know, what happens to the Bivol fight? Just one less hand to shake and one less pick. I dig that. You know what I mean? Appreciate that, Napoli. The fact that Artur doesn't have to put in his shots is what makes him a frightening power puncher. I figured that Artur would beat Joe because Artur, unlike Joe, is a cerebral pressure fighter that could box. And thank you, Napoli, because what I noticed about the fight is Joe came out front foot heavy, jabbing and stepping into the jab, and he was trying to bring over that big right. And what I seen from Artur, he was shaking and baking. He was like, "Oh, all right, you pressure me," and he moving and doing little shit. And I'm like, "Yo, Artur, he like applying pressure, but he's more than just a pressure fighter. You can see that, and the fact that he don't need a lot of room, the little uppercut that he throw, it's mad power on that. Little jab that it's mad power on that. It's frightening how hard that man hit." We got the future half Tim Bradley in the chitty chat. I love schooling clowns on Twitter, saying Tim did not want the PBC guys and retired when they was hiding behind Al after. Yo, look, man, I've been said that narrative, the narrative, they tried to make a narrative that never made no sense. The WBC had ordered a fight between Tim and Errol, but Errol was already after Brooks' belt. And he said that. Errol literally said that. And he was fighting in eliminators for Brooks' belt. But the people that like to make narratives, they was like, "Oh yeah, this, that, and the other." I'm like, bro, like y'all wasn't watching boxing at that time, or you was, and you just being disingenuous, because everybody knew in 2015 to 2016, Errol was not after the green belt. Errol was after the red belt, which is what led him to the Brook fight in 2017. So by the time the WBC came up with that order, Errol already put himself on a path for Brook. It wasn't no ducking, not like that's just boxing fans, bro. Boxing fans is crazy. Boxing fans is crazy. But Chad Cat, Artur 37 out here, and my thing is that he doesn't have all the time in the world. He don't have, not at 37. So why waste his time with a fight that could wait? The yard fight can wait till next year. The Bivol fight, that need to happen now. Now I'm gonna open up the chat to the panel, all right? And y'all know the rules of engagement. Let each other talk. Don't talk over each other, and keep it short and simple, because it usually be like 10 people up here trying to say something. Everybody can't get 10, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? But yeah, yo, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. And DAZN made a lot of big announcements, which I think are upsetting certain quadrants of the boxing cosmos. That look, they doing a lot of big fights. Canelo versus Golovkin 3, whatever's whatever. It's a big fight. Ain't no way somebody gonna try to sit here and convince me that's not a big fight. That's a big fight, fam. What's goody? What's goody?
Jules, it's a huge fight, Jules. The boxing world's stopping on those days. The
Really?
sports world, the sports world. Let me correct myself. The sports world is stopping on those days.
I mean, like, what kills me is, look, right? The same people, and I said this on the last live that I said this on the last episode of the relay that I uploaded, that look, the same people that was all for the Wilder versus Fury trilogy want to poo-poo on this when this was more competitive than that. There wasn't nothing competitive about that second Wilder fight, but people were still asking for a third one, right? But it wasn't nothing competitive about that fight. Now, you could compare Canelo versus Golovkin 1 and 2 to Wilder versus Fury 1 and 2. And what was more competitive? Canelo versus Golovkin 1 and 2. And let's not act like if it was Charlo fighting Golovkin, that cats wouldn't try to turn that into the best thing in the world. Golovkin is only quote unquote old because it's Canelo fighting him. If it was Charlo fighting him, them same critics would be saying something else.
And they still
saying
wouldn't buy the
something
fight.
else.
The crazy thing is, Jules, August, September, Eddie Hearn's got 2 back-to-back $100 million fights.
It does.
Name somebody else doing that in the game.
Well, I mean,
on 2 different continents, Jules.
listen, how you gonna say that nobody watched the zone, but Canelo fight on the zone, and Canelo draw more than everybody? So nah, fam, it's not it don't make sense. If the biggest draw in America is on the zone that draw more than your fighters, right? How can you say that nobody watches it?
And let's keep it a buck. If Errol Spence was a true free agent, Eddie Hearn would have had us get Crawford Spence 2 by now.
I mean, look, the Spence and Crawford.
We know that's not gonna happen, Jules.
It's more like I'm so done with that, bro. I'm done. Like, bro, it shouldn't take 5 years. Like, look, if you look at the fight purses of way back when, right, the Mike Tyson era, the Holyfield era, they was getting money, right? And you didn't have to wait a million years for a fight.
Hell no.
You didn't have you didn't have to. That wasn't where it's at now. And Mike was getting money. Don't never be fooled. Mike was getting money. Crazy.
If based on inflation, Mike was getting $70-80 million paydays based on inflation right now.
Yeah, the Spence and
the funny
Crawford.
thing is, fellas, we're 5 years from when Spence said, "Hey Crawford, when you move up here, get a belt first, and then I'll fight you next."
Well, all I could say about the Crawford and Spence fight is, and I said this in the last live, I'm not hyped for the fight anymore because I'm settled on Crawford. I don't have no questions in there. For me, it's about Crawford's critics having to eat crow on Sunday. That's all it's because I'm like, I've been said Crawford gonna beat that man. Just like I've been said Crawford gonna stop Sean Porter. Crawford will go down as the only man to stop Sean Porter. And that wasn't a new prediction. That prediction was from 2 years before the fight.
Yeah, you always said that. But let's talk about Artur Beterbiev a little bit. My nigga, why he hit him that hard? Bro, why he hit him that hard? That nigga hit that nigga hard as shit, bro. I'm watching the fight. The first knockdown, the slip, that was a knockdown. I got knocked out 4 times, bro. And mind you, I seen Joe Smith personally. That's a strong, durable guy. He got chopped up like he was nothing, bro.
And in 2 rounds.
Yeah.
2 rounds, bro. That nigga boy hit hard as shit, B. Hit hard as a motherfucker, boy. I'm watching this shit. I'm downstairs shocked. I said, oh shit, this nigga really got him out of there. Like it was nothing. Joe Smith is formidable. Joe Smith is a good fighter. Since the Fonfara fight, man, that guy's been the underdog in a lot of fights.
He's been riding high, and he was rising to the occasion.
Rising to the occasion until Artur stepped back, got off to the side, hit him with a right hook to the side of his head, and boom. And Andre Ward said something that was very poignant. Once he got hit with the power, he felt like, I can't really do anything about it. But it's like, and also if you saw Joe Smith,
he really once Joe was knocked down, even Jerry Capobianco, his trainer, said he really wanted to get that back. He threw whatever game plan he had out the window. He wanted to really trade with him, which was a bad idea.
I feel you, but the second knockdown, he realized this is something completely different.
I think it was during the fight, actually, before the knockdowns. There was a time in the first round where it looked like that Joe came out regressive, and then once he felt the power, I think it was a couple of right hooks from Beterbiev. The game plan looked like it stopped. It looked like he kind of went on the defensive after that.
All right, now let me read this from Kat. Shout out to Kat, longtime friend of the channel. Kat says Smith disappointed me. He resorted back to his fighting style, and he didn't know what else to do. And this is what I'm going to say, Kat. Let me say this, right? Smith would never go and turn into a boxer in that fight, and boxing Beterbiev ain't the way to go anyway, because that's what Marcus Brown tried to do, and you see what happened to him. Smith
lasted a little longer, though.
All right, hold on. Smith did what was most realistic to do in the moment. Is Smith going to turn into a lateral movement jabber after one camp? No, that's reality. He can't turn into an Olympian for better beef and go back to being Joe for the next fight. He did what was better to do. His chance in that fight always was come forward and let him go. He did that. It is what it is.
Yep.
Old habit die hard.
What did I tell you though? I told you about Colin Johnson coming forward and getting that ass blitzkrieg too. Again, that I told you, bro.
It's that look. Whether you drag it out, I'm gonna ask you a question. Who ass whooping was worse, Brown or Joe's?
Probably Joe's.
Joe.
No, Brown. Did you not see the state? Did you not see the state of the my nigga?
Let me tell you why Brown's ass whooping was worse. Anybody that knows this sport, the sustained beatings is the ones that mess you up. Not I got knocked down real quick into the first. No, that's not the shit that mess you up. The shit that mess you up is when you fighting for 3 minutes and most of that 3 minutes, you getting your motherfucking ass kicked. That's the shit that fuck you up. You think Brown, like Joe could come back and fight Callum Johnson next year if he won.
Yeah, Brown might not come back. Yeah.
Brown really got the shit beat out of him, fam.
Come to think of it, Brown, Brown got it more, but Joe's was like more surprising because it was like 2 rounds. I figured like he was gonna get knocked out, like in the second half of the fight, but 2 rounds, like holy shit.
I got a question though. Do you think Joe Smith retires after this or no? He keeps going.
He keeps going.
I'm gonna say this, right? It's possible. Because he got a logging company. He invested in a logging company. They prune trees and take down trees and shit. Like he got other money that he could do other shit. But it's money. But it's money out here. Like you know what I need? I need Joe Smith versus Edgar Berlunga yesterday.
That's not a good fight.
You know
Edgar
what?
can talk, B. You hear me?
About this,
Need that shit.
I see the edit from Long Island. The edit you did for Arthur Debo. I see the edit for Arthur Debo, but the scariest thing was when Arthur was asked about Yard and what Yard said and how he responded.
Well, Yard. I mean, like, look, this is what I'm gonna say about Yard before I pass it to my man Shelton. I seldom get to talk to my man Shelton, but he always got some good takes. What I'm gonna say about Yard is this: I can't get mad at nothing that he said. Because he got to believe in himself, bro. Even if we don't believe in him, he got to believe in himself. He got to say I don't think he's helping his situation, but he got to believe in himself. Shelton was good, man. Did you see the fight? Did you see the ass whooping all the way from Canada? I ain't even going to say Russia. I'm going to say the Canadian ass whooping. Did you see it? And what did you think?
Man, Better BF is a monster, bro. That's a tough fight for anybody at 75. And after seeing what Bivol did to Alvarez, we see now that would have been a bad move.
Oh yeah, I mean, let me ask you a question, Shelton. You know what Bivol could do. You know what Better Beef could do. Did this weekend's fight alter your perception from what it was? Is it different now? Better Beef versus Bivol based on Saturday's fight.
Yes, because Better BF showed me footwork that I had never seen from him. I've never seen him use footwork like that. His footwork was excellent. He turned him, set him up for shots, walked him right into the right hand. The uppercut was vicious. He's active. He's powerful. It's a tough fight for anybody, man. Zurdo Ramirez is my guy. And I think I had predicted that Zurdo was going to clean out 175. I'm still riding with Zurdo, but I'm not so sure now.
I'm going to tell you what. The only way I could see that outcome, and it is actually probable, is because Zurdo wasn't really fighting shit before, and he really ain't fighting shit now. So he could outlast a lot of people just on the strength of not fighting shit. Look. He was at 68, and I have always maintained this. If you really was about the action, you would have joined the World Boxing Super Series. You would at least if you wanted the problems. Now I gave him a pass. I gave him a pass because 168 was very political at that time. 2 of the alphabet titles was at PBC, and George Groves had the other one. Zerto had the BO. Fine. But I'm like, when you went to 75, though, Top Rank had the people. They still have the people. And you left. So that tell me you didn't want those fights, bro. You never wanted those fights because they had the people. You just didn't want them.
Could that be why he went the WBA route?
I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. Like, look, let's be honest. You know, all of us on this panel know that Mauricio would love nothing more than a Mexican fighter to hold the BC. So if he wanted the BC or he wanted a shot at the BC, he could get a shot at the BC. You went the BA because you viewed that as a more winnable fight. And 2, I was told about a sparring story some years ago involving Bivol and Zerto. This was in San Diego. I believe this was before Bivol won his WBA title. The story is that I was told from a credible source, Zerto beat his ass. But that was years ago, though. You feel me? That was years. That's before he won a belt.
I spoke to Zerto about a month and a half ago, I think it was. I spoke to him on another channel, and he said that he sparred Bivol, and what he said was Bivol can box, Bivol has power, and this was a tough fight. This was before the Alvarez fight. He said, this is a tough fight for Alvarez. That's what Zerto said.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I ain't sparred Bivol, thank God. And I said, look, I can't take the credit that Eson could take because Eson actually picked him to win. But I maintain from the moment that Bivol was in the running, Alvarez can lose this fight. Like, I never thought he was going to lose to Smith. I never thought he was going to lose to Saunders. I never thought he was going to lose to Plant. I still don't think that Benavidez is it. Like, bro, you not it. You just look good against guys that's cannon fodder. You beat up cannon fodder. This is different. With Bivol, I knew, there's a chance he lose this fight, bro. It's a chance. It's a real chance.
Well, you're speaking to a man who won $1,600 on the fight, because anybody on the panel that knows me will tell you from the day this fight got signed, the first words out of my mouth was, "Oh, Canelo's gonna get his ass kicked." He's too small. He's too small.
I got a question. People
forget that. Yeah.
Shelton, do you think there's going to be a second fight?
Canelo Alvarez is the best advice anyone, Eddie Reynoso, anyone could give Canelo Alvarez is to leave that Russian alone. It doesn't matter if it's at 75, 68. He's going to beat your ass. He's better than you.
Now I want to go. Let me go because we got. Yo, it's me. Yo, I got a question for you, bro. Very recently, it was announced. This was a question that I asked on a previous live. Very recently, it was announced. We already know that Ryan left Eddie Reynoso. We also know that Frankie Sanchez left Eddie Reynoso. Very recently, it was made official that Andy also left Eddie Reynoso. So, what does that make you think about Eddie? And do you feel that they was right to leave him? That maybe he's not as good a trainer as he's made out to be? What's your thoughts when you hear that?
Maybe they're looking for different styles. So maybe I think Ryan's focusing more on defense. I think Frank Sanchez is focusing more on becoming a world champion and getting those big fights. And I think Andy Ruiz is focusing on losing weight more. So maybe different styles. They're trying to look for more styles.
Drew, same question. Is it bad optics? Does it reflect poorly on Eddie that 3, fighters with a profile, fighters that have a profile, they left him, and 2 of his prize stallions lost their last fight?
I don't think it looks. It's 50-50 to the casual. It will. To like someone astute and aficionado, it's like, look, Canelo's a cash cow. If you're not working as hard as him, you're not going to get my attention. And like I said it before, Jules, like, you don't need your trainer to go through your daily routine of
That's true. We did say that.
Hitting the bag, hitting the speed bag, double land, jumping rope, all the you need your trainer specifically for strategy and implementing strategy. The fact what it is Ryan, Andy, and Frankie, they don't want to fight. often enough to have that attention from Eddie.
Mm.
You didn't mean to tell me if Ryan was fighting 3 times a year or not pulling out of fights, or Andy, that they wouldn't have enough gym time to be like, okay, Eddie, we got to focus. Because Oscar never complained about getting alone time.
That's true. That's a very good point, Virtuoso. When you hear that 3 fighters left and 2 fighters lost, do we put the blame on Eddie for perhaps not giving Ryan and Andy and Frankie enough attention? Or is it simply that, look, y'all just don't fight enough? You never heard Oscar saying that shit.
Yeah, I think it's bad actors on both sides. The fact that he's losing, Eddie's in. It's not that the fighters, are leaving his camp. I mean, the guys you just mentioned, it's like I don't see the work ethic. Unfortunately for them, it's like you go where you see is where you're more looked after for, because like Eddie and Canelo have a good rapport going back for ages, and it's easier for him and Eddie Hearn to curate his career based on the relationship they have, whereas these guys, they kind of like want to get pampered for doing less. So I look at it as a parting, like a mutual agreement to leave, because I know Eddie feels the same way about them as he feels about him.
I have to add this that no one's brought up. I think not only is Eddie Canelo's trainer, he's also his manager.
Pretty much.
Let me go to good
negotiates deals.
Let me go to good guy. Different question, good guy. We're gonna change gears. We're gonna go to Charlo, right? Now, immediately after his brother's fight for the undisputed junior middleweight championship, Jermall said that he was going to move up in weight. He has since changed the narrative. Now, he's talking about unification matches. Now, he's saying that he overlooked. When you hear that, what do you think about that? That all of a sudden, first you say you was going to go up, now you going to stay, now you want to unify. You was calling out Crawford a week ago. What do you think about that?
I think that Jermall Charlo is the black sheep of the family. That's what I think. He's the same guy that said he wanted to go down to 154 and fight Crawford. So his mind is just not there. It's not in the right spot. It's just like the other guys that were mentioned with Eddie Reynoso, like Andy Ruiz and Ryan Garcia. I mean, those guys. One has depression, the other is lazy. It's really the fighter. Jermell went and got undisputed. He gave us the fights we wanted to see, if anything, and Jermall's just not doing that. So that's what I think about Jermall. I think he's just not. I don't know what his problem was. I mean, fighting Montiel and then canceling Salicki, he doesn't know what he's doing really.
I'm gonna go to Julio. Julio hasn't had the chance to talk. Julio, Jermall sound like he's lost almost. 1 minute he's saying he going to 68. Next minute he's saying he's staying at 60, and then he's saying he's going to go to 54 to fight Crawford. He talking about unification matches, even though he was literally offered a unification match and he didn't take it. When you look at this guy, what do you think?
Jermall is a cap demon. That's all he does is cap. I think, of course, he's not going to drop down in weight. He's too fucking old for that. As far as the unifications, he's probably just getting bullied online, and he has to say the right things. Like, he could have made these fights years ago. He could have fought Andrade years ago. Could have fought Golovkin when he was at 160. He could have fought all these guys years ago. I don't think he has much left. The dude is like, almost in his mid-30s. He doesn't seem eager to fight anyone. And if he does move up, I'll be surprised. Like, I think he'll probably just take a couple more shitty fights at 160 and call it a day.
Show, and how does it end for Charlo, bro? Because it just looks like it just looked like where is it gonna go? Because all right, the Suzuki fight got postponed, right? Nobody cared about that fight anyway. But the way he talking, it's like, what you supposed to do with him? If you stay at 60, we can't even put you in a big fight because you're not gonna get Golovkin. You don't want to unify with Andre. The only big fights that's out there for you is at 68. So how does it end?
I don't know what's going to happen with Maul. Maul doesn't seem. I said this earlier this week. Some guys are in this thing for legacy. And some guys are in this thing just to get paid. I think Maul Charlos is happy getting paid. His brother obviously wants the legacy, but Maul, I think he just wants to get paid. I don't know what he's going to. I'm really at the point now that I don't care, because when you fight, when you got Cornelius Bundridge, when you got Brandon the Cannon Adams, you got some guy named Dennis Hogan, and you got Selecki and these type of guys on the resume. How can I take you seriously, bro?
Yeah.
Let
me go to Napoli. Napoli. It's getting to the point to where we don't know what direction Jermall is going to go, because what he is saying does not make sense. 1 minute, you going to 68. The next minute, you talking about unifying. Which one is it going to be?
He doesn't know what he wants. He can't make up his mind. He's just talking shit just to talk shit. So there you go. He's a chameleon. You know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to, really. You know, like Jermell is, you know, obviously, like he's doing what he's supposed to do. Yeah. Jermall is just, you know, just wasting space, pretty much.
So I'm gonna ask Chris a different question. Chris, we already heard, you know, the sound bites and just the shit that Maul is saying. We know what he's saying, which is nonsensical shit, right? What's the next move, though? If you had to guess what is next for Jermall, what would that be?
Fighting some nondescript fuck nigga. But yeah, this is what I would do if I'm Al Heyman at this point, and if the walls are closing in. This is what I would say. Hey, Maul, you haven't had a good performance since J-Rock. You fought Brandon the Cannon. You hear me? The Cannon Adams. You couldn't get him out. You struggled against Dennis Hogan, Juan Macias Montiel. You really lost against Matt Korobov. You're losing money. You're losing money for me. And, well, you would have to fight David Benavidez, or you're off my platform. Because at the end of the day, I can do without you, because I have your brother. And also, if you go to if you go to the DAZN side of things, you will be fed to Demetrius Andrade, or it's something. Because at the end of the day, you're a liability. I can't expect you to, you know, give me a good showing. Hey, cool. Your last good showing was against Sergey Deverenchenko, a guy you couldn't stop. Let's keep it a buck.
That's true.
It was a great showing. I always said it. I always maintained that was a great showing, Deverenchenko. But mind you, similar to Kell Brook and how Earl Spence got him, it's the same thing with Deverenchenko. You fought a guy that had back-to-back fights with Danny Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin.
That's
so
true.
If you keep it a buck, that was your last good performance.
And that was over a year ago.
That was over a year ago. So ultimately, you went life and death for the guy that got knocked out by Jaime Munguia. But your saving grace is this: Golden Boy fucked up the Munguia fight. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, there is a little bit of saving grace for you. Now you want to call out Terrence Crawford? No, he called your little brother out. So your little brother got to handle that, because from what I know, he didn't go up to 160 yet. He didn't vacate all them titles. At the end of the day, you have to fight him. Like, come on, man! Like, this guy's losing your money.
I felt that Jermall.
I have to correct that. It was okay. It was an okay performance against Derevianchenko.
I agree with that.
But what's crazy is I was at the fight against J-Rock, and Maul had so much promise if they would have kept him active. But think about that. How long ago was that fight? And that was his best fight. That's almost half a decade, right?
I mean, yeah, honest to God, yeah, the J-Rock fight.
Yeah, it was about 5 years ago.
Listen, the J-Rock fight was 5 years ago, fam.
Like 7-8 years ago. That's
it's not
damn near a decade ago.
Yeah, because he was a middleweight at 160 at 2017, right?
It was at the Galen Center.
So it had to be before that.
Still going to time.
Hey, Julius, can I say something about the Reynoso situation?
Yeah, tell me about the Reynoso situation. You see what's going on, right? You see that 3 fighters left him, and 2 of the prize stallions that he had, they lost state fights. This was Trainer of the Year, I believe, in 2020 or 2021. You know, what do you think
3,
when you
actually.
see that?
Cesar Martinez?
Yeah, well, you guys got to remember something, man. For me, just for me, I hear what you guys are saying, and I agree with it. But all 3 of those fights were not winnable fights for his fighters.
That's true.
You can't sit here and tell me. You can't sit here and tell me that anybody thought Shakur was going to lose to Valdez.
That's true.
No, hell no.
I thought Shakur was going to win.
You can't tell me that anybody thought Julio Cesar Martinez moving up in weight was going to beat China.
Well, that's Julius.
True. Nah. I'm going to be honest with you, right? This is what happened to me, all right? Please listen to me, right? Just listen, right?
I'm going to listen to you, bro.
I'm a big Chocolatito fan, right? So this is what was going on in my brain. I know that I want Chocolatito to win, right? Ahead of the fight. So I know that I'm not being objective because I want him to win. And I'm like, he's old, though. He fucking old. And I think Bam had just beat Quadras, unless I'm mistaken. Bam did
beat Quadras. Yeah, he did.
So he did. I was thinking, yo, my man Choco about to get old man out here, B, because these young guns, they coming, you know what I mean? So that's what I thought. They're like, my man Choco about to get old man out here. I did pick Julio to beat Choco. I ain't even going front. I thought he was going to get old man, and Choco showed him the inside is mine.
Hey, Julius, can I bring up something about, age? I know age is a big factor in boxing, and I don't discredit, but I'm going to give you like a couple fights with some guys that people probably don't talk about in boxing like that. Too crazy. Harold Graham versus Rod Douglas. That's one fight. Harold Graham versus Chris Johnson. What else? What's another fight? Roberto Duran versus Davey Moore. I know it's Roberto Duran, but another fight. What's one last fight? So let's look at these 3 fights. All those guys, the 2 fighters I mentioned, were all older than everybody else. Like Harold Graham had fought 3 times for a world title and lost. He lost to Sumbu Kalimbe.
Hold on. Let me say this, right? This is the thing, right? I could bring up Jürgen Bremer and Rob Brandt. I get it. Sometimes the old guy wins. I'm not even saying that. But with Choco, you talking about a dude that been literally in war after war after war after war throughout 4 different weight classes. So when I see the trend that a lot of the old guys is getting put the fuck out, like Manny with Ugas, like Quadras with motherfucking Bam, I'm like, yo, that's what's going on. They kicking these old motherfuckers out of here, B.
Yeah. But understand this. You got to be special, bro.
Hey, bro, I got to say this.
You're talking about Harold Graham.
You talking about 15-round fighters, bro. You cannot compare these 12-round cats to those 15-round warriors.
I feel you,
and you're talking about Harold Graham. Harold Graham is famous for getting slept by Julian Jackson.
Yeah.
Cool. Julian Jackson can knock out anybody with that shot.
He was losing everybody. He was
getting the shit beat out of him. But I was just saying this: just because you're an older fighter, don't mean that these young cats gonna beat up on you. I'm just saying this.
Did I not factor in the wars? Did I not factor in this man? Let me say this. This man got cold slept. Not you TKO, not referee stoppage. You got laid out like Sunday slacks by the Rat King, bro. All right.
So Rungvisai's a massive puncher, bro. Yeah, that's a massive puncher. Like, Julio Cesar Martinez wasn't sleeping people back at 112 and shit like that. He wasn't.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying that. Look, I seen a young guy. What you gonna crucify me? Because I thought the young guy was going to win.
I gotta get a fucking lesson no matter what.
No, Jules. Sorry to cut you up, Napoli. Jules, I'll be on.
No, it's okay, man.
I'll be like, in agreement with you with a lot of these things. It's just like certain people I give, credence to because of their greatness. Like you got to remember, after him getting parked by Shursik so Rungvisai, look what he did to Kyle Yafai, a damn good fighter, bro.
Listen, all right.
Look at what he did to them.
Former Olympian.
No. See, you're not going to talk no Khalid Yafai to me because I picked him to knock out. I picked him to knock out Yafai, right? You know I picked him to do that.
I know that. I know that.
Wait, I'm not done. And you know I picked him to beat Estrada, and we all know he beat.
Yeah, he got fucking robbed.
Yeah, he got robbed, man.
Let me bring something up right quick that you guys might be missing. I'm telling everybody on this panel right now, we're gonna find out Saturday what Bam really is.
I agree.
I tell you.
I've heard people on panels, they think Bam is just gonna run through this guy. No.
I'm going to say this, and I really, because this weekend's fights, these is not regular fights. Like Jessica fighting Ibarra, and I don't know for sure if she gonna win. Bam fighting Rumviside, I don't know for sure if he gonna win. I might have to be a little bitch this weekend, and I might just not say shit. Like, bro, I don't know. If you ask me who gonna win, I literally do not know what to tell you, fam. Quadras is Quadras. Rumviside is Rumviside. That dude hit hard. And even if he old, what they say, power is the last thing to go.
And if nobody says it, I will. Bam is stopping that man.
Just like Artur Beterbiev, 37 years old, but he hits like a fucking wrecking ball.
Bam is stopping that man.
And I bet you had Canelo stopping Bivol too.
No, I did not. Stop it.
That's super disrespectful.
I had Usyk beat.
Let me be honest. I think Dimitri Bivol is the only one that has a chance against Artur Beterbiev because he's the better boxer.
Better is not better, the different boxer. I can't say I don't. Better means that you do something that he do better than him. Bivol is not a pressure fighter. So I cannot say that you better than him, but you different, and your differences.
He's more fluid, I'd say. Yeah.
Your differences. In other words, what you did to Joe, and what you did to Callum, and what you did to Marcus, it's gonna be harder to do that to Bivol. It's gonna be harder to do that because the punches that you used, like you was able to come over the top of Joe's jab, but Joe leave his hand out there too long. It's a lazy jab. He don't bring it. It be out there too long, and then he don't bring it back fast enough. So he countered your jab. It's gonna be harder. I'm just saying. It's gonna be.
And let me add to that what Jules you're saying. It's gonna be harder. The longer this fight goes, the less reflexes Artur's gonna have as he gets older. That's just what it is. Artur his brain might be able to pull the trigger, but his body might not catch up if they prolong this fight.
And recency, the other thing is recency bias, right? For example, one thing that almost immediately comes to mind is that, Manny beat up guys that Floyd maybe took a little bit more time for, right? But when Floyd fought Manny, seen what it was. With Bivol, he decisioned Joe. And Artur destroyed Joe. But that's a triangle theory, fam. And what I see people doing, they doing the triangle theory. Like, he destroyed. All right, Bivol is not Joe, fam.
Yeah. I still got Bivol beating Beterbiev because Bivol has a quicker jab, a quicker 1-2. It seems like he has
better lateral movement.
Better lateral movement. My thing is with this. Artur Beterbiev would have to cut off the ring and everything. And I understand he cut off the ring against Gvozdyk. I understand that. But I think Bivol's
but Gvozdyk is not as quick as Bivol.
At all.
The thing with Gvozdyk, and I've said this probably a million times, Gvozdyk don't move, he don't move this. What he do is he move his feet to get out of the way. He move his feet. But he wasn't slipping. He wasn't coming in at a slight crouch behind. He wasn't not so when you shoot an overhand right to him, he there for the shit. And that's really what caused him. His torso was always very static. Whereas if you look at Bivol, he bend at the waist. He bend at the waist. Like he coming at us. If he got to get in a little slight crouch, he'll do that. He trickier than Gvozdyk. I ain't going front. I pick Gvozdyk to win that fight.
Bends at the waist. He twists his hips. Yeah. And he moves his feet really well. He times this,
And
Bivol has a hook as well.
The chin that will keep him in the fight, I think.
And with Gvozdyk, something was lost in him after what happened to Adonis Stevenson.
That's true too.
And what I gotta say about that fight is this:
he was gun shy. He was rather gun shy. You know what I'm saying?
Depending on who promotes that fight will determine how the judges score that fight. And that we can say it all we want. The politics this is one of those fights where the politics is gonna play heavy. If it's a top
let me say it this way: it's something going on. It's something spicy going on in the chat. Look, if y'all debating, y'all could do that shit right motherfucking here and right motherfucking now, and I will mediate. Cat, Russ, if y'all going at it in the chitty chat, I need that money, so y'all need to jump on here and argue because that makes for great TV. That's all I'm saying. Put the link in there. Put the link in there right now. They go. I'm reading the comments. They going at it in the chat. I'm like, shit. Jump on, yo. What the fuck? That's what we here for.
It's about that fight. I think Bivol versus Better BF is the tougher fight for both guys. But the better fight, the all-out banger would be Better BF and Ramirez. Yeah. Because Ramirez, if you don't get him early and you let him start rolling, he's a big dude. He's very strong. And if you can't hurt him and keep him
he's a volume puncher.
Well, Shelton,
it's gonna be a problem.
Shelton, look me in my eye. Wait, let me do this. Let me do this. Look me in my eye and tell me you don't think Better Beef could hurt Zerto.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, can he finish him? Hurting them and getting them out of there is one thing. Can you finish them? Because if you let that guy
Shelton and Julius, let me tell you a famous line from one of my favorite rappers of all time. You might be kind of big, but they make coffins your size too.
That's true. Listen, Zerto, can I tell you something, Shelton? Now I'm gonna be out, and this is a real assessment. It's gonna sound funny, but Zerto put too much product in his hair for me, bro. You ain't with shit. You ain't with shit.
He said one of the main reasons he's going to beat them all because he looks better than all of them.
Bro,
yo, Juice, you's a Harlem nigga. So if people are well-groomed,
nah.
Are you a grimy Harlem
conditioner with all the conditioner that he got in his hair, fam? You not winning that fight, bro. Artur don't even own the brush. He don't own the brush, fam. Imagine Artur. Nah, he don't own a brush, fam.
That dude, the only time he come off that farm he lives on is when he's training. Other than that,
yeah, because like Arthur, he got a comb his hair only in one.
What do you think of?
I would just go ahead, bro.
My bad, man. What do you think of Artur Better BF against Callum Smith?
Callum gets folded.
Yeah. Like a little kid.
I mean,
destroys Callum
really?
If Canelo's bullying you, Better B's gonna bully you.
I wanted to ask Jules a question.
That's true.
Jules, what did you make of the presser today and Usyk's little mind games with the stare down and just your overall feel on what's gonna happen?
I'm gonna be real, and y'all gonna get tired of hearing me say this, right? You know I'm just being real with y'all. If you ask me what I think, this is what I think, right? Usyk is my Capricorn brother. So when I read his face, I'm just being real with y'all. When I read his face and I read his shoulders, Usyk made up his mind already about whatever he made up his mind. Like, bro, I don't look at you and see nothing, bro. I look at you and I see a dude that I'm here to beat. And when I looked at Usyk, that's what I seen. When I looked at AJ, you willing yourself. You trying to pull it out. And maybe he do, because let me tell you something. 250-pound person trying to hit you, fam. Hey, bro, shit happens. Like, I Usyk.
I think Usyk might really want to hurt AJ because of what he saw in Ukraine. Because, bro, he don't seem too happy, bro. Because I think he really saw what real life is for people. And, like, all in all, I think Usyk want to hurt this dude.
Let me read the super chat. Emmanuel, shout out to Emmanuel B. Been supporting this channel for years. #1 channel. Bevor beats Better Beef and Z. Hey!
I just got a thing to say about that. Well, about that stare down, right? I saw the tension, right? But then afterwards on Twitter, I saw people dogging that shit. Like, okay, here's these two having a selfie, and I'm like, I'm having conflicting feelings about this thing, about the build-up so far. It's like I already know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
I think look, everything.
Hey, let me say this, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you. I looked in Usyk's eyes before the first fight. I looked at that cat. You can tell Usyk's elevator don't go all the way to the top. You know how in the hood you got a legit crazy dude?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But let me tell you this, Shelton, right? Because this the other thing, right? What you just said about Usyk has been said about me in certain quarters of my life, right? And the elevator's there. I'm being just real shit, right? And what I'm saying is the elevator is there, right? But it's like I don't care if y'all think I'm a lunatic. Like that shit don't mean nothing. I'm here to do what I'm here to do, and as long as I'm settled within myself, I give a fuck if you think I don't care, fam. I'm here to do what I'm here to do. And when I look at Usyk, it's like, bro, I don't care if this is a rematch. I don't give a shit if you hired Robert Gersha. I don't care about Angel Fernandez. I don't care about none of that, fam. I beat you before. I'll beat you worse.
I'm do it again.
Yeah, I got a good question.
Now, what would warrant if AJ wins? What would warrant a trilogy, Jules?
I mean, if AJ wins, what warrants a trilogy is if AJ wins emphatically.
If AJ loses, will AJ retire?
It's hard to say that because it's still a lot of, even if he lose, right? It's still money out there, fam.
His market value takes a.
Let me ask you this:
if AJ loses,
my guy Amir Khan and Kell Brook sold like 400 or 500 pay-per-views, and both them men was circling the drain.
We'll get AJ Wilder.
If AJ loses, it's still $100 million fight with Wilder.
I feel you.
Let me ask you this though, Jules: who is getting money like AJ and Hearn? Tell me, who's putting on $80 million fights?
Nobody.
Come on, man.
Bro.
Like literally, like look. Fury and Wilder fought
Plus
3
AJ
times.
has a stake in the zone, so
Fury and Wilder fought 3 times, right? When them Saudis gave a fuck? Never. Fuck your fight. What the fuck? What is this shit? Fuck this fight. All right? They ain't give a fuck about that shit. You call Anthony Joshua, the Watford Giant, the Watford Behemoth. The money roll in, bro. It's the money, man.
I feel you,
and
but
the funny thing is, Jules. The funny thing is that 80 million is just the side fee. That's not.
Yeah, that's not all the money they could. Yeah, that's all. The reason I say the 80, right, is because just with the 80, not even the margin, the profit margin, just with the 80, this is bigger than any fight. Frank Warren, Oscar De La Hoya, Ben Shalom, Al Heyman, Bob Arum. This is bigger than anything. That's y'all budget right there, fam. That fight is a big ass chunk of your annual budget. Just that one fight. And y'all trying to say, yeah, Eddie don't know what he doing. And I got a question for y'all. Then how come when you wanted them Saudis to pay for Crawford versus Pacquiao, the money didn't come?
Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
It's also what do we know? What do we know, Jules?
This is the second $80 million fight he done put on. This is the second one.
This is and conservatively, this is $100 million fight. Canelo Triple G is $100 million fight. You add the B-ball fight.
Your mic going in and out. Let me say this, right? When you reach a point to where cognitive dissonance is your only coping mechanism for the reality of things, when you run around saying things like Eddie don't know what he's doing, but the cash cow of boxing in America went to him. He didn't go to you, fam. You know that's an indictment on you, right? Because this supposed to be your town. But when push came to shove and he left Oscar, he didn't go to you, fam, because he know your reputation. He went to Eddie. That's an indictment on all the other American promoters here that he didn't go to y'all. No, he went to the Brit because he fucked with the Brit. And I love working with Eddie Hearn, bro. I love working with that dude.
Hey, what's that old saying?
My mic back?
They say
my mic back.
all
Can y'all
the
hear
time.
me?
You say he don't know what he's doing. You say he don't know what he's doing. I said that old saying. You say the man don't know what he's doing, right? But somebody with a whole lot more money than you thinks he does.
Thank you. Because ain't that the motherfucking truth? When you think about the biggest draws that generate the most revenue on either side of the Atlantic Ocean, win, lose, or fall, whatever, right? These dudes generate more money than your whole stable, fam. So how could you say that he don't know what he doing when they doing business with him and they not doing business with you? What doesn't get said, which really agitates me, is Tyson Fury's whole time at Top Rank, all you did was lose money, my guy. All you did was lose money. From the moment they signed you, all you did was lose money. But nobody want to say that because he beat what? So fucking what if he beat Wilder? Y'all trying to convince me that he is the same draw that Anthony Joshua is when time after time, all you did was lose money. The Valine fight, motherfucking 3,000 tickets sold, not even 1 million at the gate. The motherfucking Schwartz fight, 5,000 tickets sold, a little over 800,000 at the gate.
Hey, Jules, can I talk to Bob Arum on your platform?
The shit that cracks me up, though.
Fellas. They got $80 million for a fight that nobody thinks he can win.
Facts.
That part. Not even that.
Eddie Hearn.
Len Blavatnik gave AJ a deal too. But on top of that, Jules, even without the numbers, the fact that all these promoters are mentioning Eddie's name unprovoked lets you know that they're afraid. Lets you know that he's coming, and they can't do nothing about it.
Because Eddie Hearn is showing up on these blowhards.
Bro, how much? Let me ask you a question. You don't think Leonard Ellerby wish that a Gervonta Davis fight could get an $80 million site fee? Like, what are we, morons? Of course you wish you was doing that kind of business. You happy selling out the Barclays Center, my guy. I know you wish you could get $80
Leonard
million.
Ellerby is the blowhard of all blowhards.
Hey, Jules in the panel, can I talk?
Think about this, fellas. The only other time you've seen a country build a stadium specifically for two fighters was Ali and Foreman.
Mm-hmm.
They built a stadium specifically for Joshua Ruiz.
But let Bob and let Leonard like, oh, he fucking bro. He not. Listen, let me tell you something. Yeah.
Full screen me.
Hold on, let me see.
Yep.
Yeah, bro, like that shit. Like, look,
rent free.
This the other shit, right? What motherfuckers like to do when it come to Leonard is they like to act like Leonard is Al. One, Leonard is not Al. But if we really going to sit here talking about people that fuck off money, Al Heyman has fucked off way more money than Eddie Hearn. And it's not even close, bro. The Waddle and Reed money. Fuck is y'all talking about? Fuck is you if we going to sit here and have a conversation about people that fucked off money in boxing, Bob, you've been fucking off money on Fury for the last 4 years, bro. Have you ever actually turned over a profit on this man? Because your own man, Bruce Trampler, after the second fight, after you done already lost money on the Schwartz fight, and you done already lost money on the Valine fight, after the second Wilder fight, what Bruce Trampler said, oh yeah, it might have did 19 mil at the gate, but we still lost money because of piracy. You still lost money paying this cat? Have you ever turned over a profit on this man? But let y'all tell you, it's Eddie that's fucking. I never heard Eddie Hearn say, yeah, AJ lost me some money, bro.
And here's the wild thing, Jules. Here's the wild thing. We got 2 fights we got back-to-back fights with Eddie that are going to do 1 million plus pay-per-view buys worldwide, both over 100 million gross revenue.
But let them tell it he don't know what he's doing. Listen, let me say this for the people, for the hate watchers, because I can feel y'all watching me. Let me say this. It's not about loving Eddie Hearn. It's that's what's good for boxing. He has people injecting millions of dollars into the sport of boxing. If you are too stupid and too dense to wrap your mind around that, stop coming here, fam. There's plenty of channels that hate Eddie Hearn. You ain't got to come to this one. But if you too goddamn dumb to realize that you're getting people to pour more money into boxing, which equals more fights, more opportunities, right? Which is good for the sport, then you don't belong here. Because
I'll tell you what it is, Jules. I'll tell you what it is. Eddie Hearn's doing what Dana White did in the early days of the UFC, going to all these countries that don't have TV deals, that don't have platforms for their fighters, and he's outworking all these guys. That's what bothers them. This rich kid that turned his dad's 8-figure company into a 9-figure company, into a $1 billion company, and he's outworking them. The little rich kid that got an inheritance.
For my haters.
Also, I think a lot of people forget that, like, when they say Hearn fucked over money, that was actually like the whole point, is to take the risk in overpaying fighters in order to build the app and to build the infrastructure in the United States.
Well, the kind of shit that they're talking, bro, is the kind of shit that you say when you have nothing to say. Because anybody that's ever started up any kind of business, or if you ever had to invest in anything, you anticipate that in the beginning there will be losses. You anticipate the losses because they're growing pains. You're trying to break into a market where there are established entities like Top Rank, like PBC, like Golden Boy. Yeah, you got to ruffle feathers. You're not here to be friends with them. You're here to compete with them. So it was never going to be, yeah, let's all get naked and go skinny dipping body. It was never going to be that, fam. It was always going to be, look, this cutthroat, bro, I'm here for the business. I'm not here to be your friend. You going to do business with me, or over time, which I believe is what's happening. Over time, I'm going to roll over you, fam. Over time.
And you're right, Jules. You're right. It's the long-term play, because check this out. If Eddie was really doing bad and DAZN was failing, you think Len Blavatnik would give them, hey, here's another $7 billion, because I'm looking at all the data, I'm looking at all the projections, and I see where we're going. It's going to break through. They're the largest streaming platform outside of a sports platform outside of America. That for the people, growth.
But let me say this, for the people that don't even keep up with metrics and stuff, like, it's more simple than that. Do you think Saudi Arabian investors would invest money in fighters that people don't watch to fight on an app that people don't? No, of course not.
No. Of course not.
In other words, when you say,
go ahead, Julius.
When Bob said that, oh, it's the dark zone, nobody watched them fights. I'm gonna tell you who watched them fights. Them Saudis watched them fights. That's how I know. They just invested $80 million in that shit, didn't they? Did they invest $80 million in any of your fighters?
And check this out.
Saudis must have made. They must have made money off the AJ Ruiz fight.
Hold on, go ahead, Shelly. Go ahead, Shelly.
People forget this, bro. We got a fight of the year candidate off the zone.
They act like we never got a fight of the year candidate. That's the wild. If you let these,
Leewood and McConnell.
Let me say this: it's the Americans more than anybody that have this hate thing going. And I'm like, listen, I don't have time for silly, childish bullshit. I have seen several fight of the year candidates. I have seen several knockout of the year candidates from males and females on one app. I never said Top Rank don't do good fights. Of course, Top Rank do good fights. Even PBC, listen, Charlo versus Castaño was that's some motherfucking shit. Both them
One and two.
That's some motherfucking shit.
People can't front on the zone, though. You gotta remember, Lennon Castillo almost got killed by Callum Smith, bro. And Jules still hasn't avenged Lennon Castillo.
Now you happy with Alien, right? Turned to a vibrator.
Yeah, bro. You're a Capricorn alien,
bro. Sizzle like bacon. You call him a vibrator? Come on.
Jules said it a long time ago when he was comparing Eddie Hearn to Dana White. The reason Eddie even gets shit for when his fighters lose in a tough fight, but Eddie's rolling the dice. He's trying to see the best fight the best. Next man up.
Let me champ this shit.
Eddie gets his fighters paid.
Let me champ this shit. America has a lot of tribalism embedded into its culture. So naturally, Americans always want everything to be about cliques. If you know, they always want everything to be divided. They always want everything to be fuck cliques, fam. And fuck American bullshit. I'm a first generation American anyway. I give a fuck about any of this bullshit that be out here because this country is warped, right?
Say that one more again, my nigga. Please say it one more time.
I give a fuck. Like, I don't like all that bull, like all that shit that be like, I don't care, but I will get the fuck up and leave, bro. Fuck out of here. You gotta
look at it like this. Alicia Baumgartner, right, was hitting Eddie Hearn up. He had to. She went to London just to punch up on Terry Harper to sign with Eddie Hearn for her to do that. Let's really keep it a buck, bro. Eddie Hearn must be doing something real well because you got to remember who else was on that card. Kiko Martinez, right? Kiko Martinez and Kid Galahad, right? So Eddie Hearn puts his fighters in tough. A lot of his fighters have lost all his cards, but he has people wanting to still work with him. So what does that say?
What I'm gonna say is that if you watch a Matchroom show, anything can happen. The house fighter could lose. A cash cow like Anthony Joshua could lose. A cash cow like Canelo Alvarez could lose. Now, if you're more comfortable watching Davis slap up people that you know you're going to beat, then you can watch that bullshit. You can pay. watch that bullshit. If you more comfortable watching Chalo and Suzuki or whoever the fuck they find for him to watch that bullshit. But I know on a Matchroom show, yo, a cash cow or a known god, the house fighter like a Warrington, hey, might get his ass beat. Anything can happen. And that's what I'm paying to see. I'm paying to see fights. I don't know what this weird shit that these freaks and geeks is trying to turn boxing into, but I mean, I'm just trying to see some fights, fam, where both guys stand a chance. That's it.
I think it's all about money. Because
if it was all about money, go ahead, Leo.
Here's a perfect example, fellas. We got a fight coming up.
Hold on, let's let Leo go. Leo ain't get a chance to speak yet. Go ahead, Leo.
Go ahead, Leo.
I have a question for the panel. So, anyone here is a fan of basketball?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you watch the NBA?
Of course.
Yeah. Do you watch any other leagues than there's not the NBA?
Fuck no.
I don't watch FIBA. FIBA is disgusting.
The WNBA.
No, I don't watch any other leagues. Why?
No, the okay.
College basketball.
In team sports, people takes at face value that some leagues are better than others. For example, soccer. Everyone knows, even people that is not from Europe, that the best leagues are in the European leagues.
Yes.
The argument for the European leagues are the best, as most of the talent is directed to the European teams. But why? Because they are paying them a fuck ton of money.
They pay like their way, because it used to be like, if you watch a FIFA Club World Cup, it used to be teams from like South America busting Europeans' ass. And my dad used to tell me, hey, once they realized the Brazilians can play that well, the money came through. And now, you see why Europe looks the way it does.
Anybody
watching the World Cup in the winter, though? No, just random.
Yeah, the point I want to make is
I watch it every time it comes on because it's exciting.
If you want to know where the core of the competition, the real talent is, you might have to follow the money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Look, let me put it another way, right? Boxing is entertainment. It's not like a lot of people are trying to turn boxing into this. Just look, bro, it's about watching two guys fight. And the best thing that I like about Matchroom's matchmaking is that when you see a fight, it's a fight. Alan Babic might get knocked the fuck out. It's not. He not protected. He is not under no bubble, no protection. That man might get knocked the fuck out in the next fight. AJ might get knocked the fuck out in his next fight. Motherfucking Canelo get out hustled by Bivol.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm gonna keep it real with you though.
Let me ask you a question real quick, Jules. Have you ever heard of a Matchroom fighter complaining about money?
No.
Nope.
Hell no.
No. I spoke to a Matchroom fighter and she told me Matchroom take care of their fighters.
Meanwhile, why I say don't compare Dana to Eddie. But let me just say this real quick. You're right, Jules. There's a segment of boxing fans that just want to be attached to this like freak show aspect of the sport, and they want to turn it into like Love and Hip Hop when it's just two guys just trying to be the best they can be, and we just draw our own conclusions from there,
Yeah,
that's what we on some fucking reality TV shit. Deontay Wilder, go figure.
Yeah,
I mean, like, look, you gotta do, like, it's just like, look, man, I ain't trying to worry about a lot of bullshit. When I watch a boxing match, it's to watch two people fight. These other motherfuckers, like, I don't know what y'all trying to turn this sport into, but it would help a great deal if you actually paid for any of this shit. And that's where we defer. When I said look, if they make Charlo versus Rosario, I will buy it. What the fuck did I do? I bought it.
I did too.
Bought it. All right. Spence versus Porter, I fucking bought it. Crawford versus Porter, I fucking bought it. All right. It ain't me stealing some shit and then I can't shut the fuck. Like, bro, you stealing the shit. You don't even count. Be quiet. When you start paying
people
for
don't
this
understand, shit, Julius. People don't understand that when you get these fights on ESPN, when you get these fights on Showtime, more casuals see that than these pay-per-views. Because casual boxing fans ain't finna buy no fight when they don't even know who the fuck is fighting.
Exactly.
But if they just scrolling through and see two
how do you decide
let me watch this.
Who in what office tower decided that Andy Ruiz need to be on pay-per-view to, like, bro, with Luis Ortiz? Who is going to buy this? Who?
They don't steal it, bro.
But who's
all
gonna
I
buy
know
the Ortiz Martin fight? Who bought that?
And all I know is I'm flying out to fucking Saudi Arabia.
Thurman Barrios? Really? Thurman Barrios? Really?
Davis, Rolly Romero. You trying to tell me, Leonard with a straight face trying to tell me and you that fuck a Devin Haney, right? Fuck him. Fuck a Lomachenko. What we got for you, Shelton, we got some Rolly.
Or John.
Leonard Ellaby said Gervonta Tank Davis was the best 140-pounder.
You know I watched that.
This is just legalized extortion right here, man. What you're just talking about right now.
Following Saturday,
sorry.
When it came on Showtime for free. I was not paying $80 for that shit.
But that's what
extortion.
Leonard Ellaby really trying to. It's like, yo, you really want people to believe this goofy ass shit you saying. Like, bro, you really think people want to see Davis in there with a Rolly more than they want to see him in there with Haney? More than they, like, really, fam? Like, you just either you're dumb or you think we're dumb. It could be both.
Quick question.
It could be both.
Question.
But I got I need your size.
Why you think this fight we got on July 30th is coming on Fox instead of pay-per-view? Why do you think that is?
It's two reasons. It's two reasons, Shelton. One, they have to honor the initial agreement, which calls for a certain number of pay-per-views annually. That's one. And two, when you got two heavyweights like Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz that have made certain dollar amounts in the past, they think that they supposed to get that all the time now. When, fam, you not worth that. So the only way you stand a chance of getting that bread that we not going to give you up front is if we put you on pay-per-view, because we not going. You might have got 7 with Anthony. We don't got 7 for you, bro. We don't. You might have got 1 and 2 with Wilder, but we don't have that for you, bro. Now you could see if you could get it on pay-per-view, because we not going to just give you that.
The funny thing about that is that's how fucking good Egas is compared to everybody saying Al's a genius. They're getting a 50-50 split on that fucking $80 million, and Ruiz barely got another flat fee of like double what he got the first fight.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers don't talk
about. Listen, when I saw it right in front of me, when he was right in front, I give him a dap. I give him a fist pound. So like, yo, I like what you're doing, bro.
Look. When you think about it, right? When you just think about the amounts of money that have been made, it's fuck. Like, I look at a guy like Adam Kovnowski, for example, that like, yo, they really fucked you out of a lot of paper, bro. You think about Luis Ortiz, that he has a daughter that has an ailment. They fucked you out of a lot of money, my guy. And you got these bozos with these YouTube channels eating that bull. Like, yo, you don't see that they fucked him out of paper looking out for Showtime. Not looking out for him, looking out for Showtime. Like, nah, don't let him go over there and be content for them. Fuck that. Well, did Showtime give him something to compensate him for the money that he would have made? No, y'all got him another fucking Wilder fight. And he didn't even make off that fight what he could have made.
You called it, Jules. Al Heyman was paying the managers more than they would have got from that payday percentage to keep them on ice and not take those fights.
The only way this works out to where you can rationalize what's happening is if the managers are being given paid incentives to keep the fighters out of certain deals. Normally, the manager is supposed to negotiate the best deal for you, whether the promoter likes it or not. But what I see is these managers, they must be getting some money on the side to do this goofy ass shit. Because like, you really fucked your fighter out of a lot of goddamn money. Wow.
Right. Well, yeah, like Kanowski might probably lose money. He was going to get a fight with Chisora, and instead now he's getting this banana peel and this Turkish guy for what? How much are you going to get for that?
That's yo, he would have got at least over $1 million to fight a dude with losses in the double digits. Are you gonna make over $1 million fighting this Turkish guy?
How much did Ortiz and them demand for the AJ fight where they priced themselves out?
Well, they was offered. I remember the number being around 5 and 6, and I think they wanted like 8 or some crap. Like it's like, bro, like, it's like, bro, like you you gotta. It's like the song. You gotta know when to fold them. Know how to hold them.
Yeah.
It's like that song, fam. They're like, yo, my God, all you gonna end up doing is negotiating yourself out of a lot of fucking money. That's all you gonna do. And in this sport, where your window of opportunity to make a lot of money is really from age 25 to, let's say, 36, 37. That's really your window, because that's more or less the time frame that the money start to happen, the big money, right? Bro, Adam done got the shit beat out of him already 2 times. You really gonna fuck up this Chisora fight?
By Robert Helenius.
Yeah. You're seeing a lot of
guys that Chisora arguably beat.
Julius, let me say this. A point I already made a couple of months ago, but I want to say it again. It's very difficult to understand that in a serious sport like is boxing, the way he's structured makes almost impossible to not get some entities to misinform the public. For example, I'm not a big soccer fan. I'm not a hardcore soccer fan, but I know there's a couple national cups tournaments. Then you can make to the South American Cup or maybe the Copa Libertadores.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the big cups in South America. I know that, and I'm not a hardcore soccer fan. But dude, you have Gervonta Davis calling himself a world champion. Why?
Because people believe it. They'll believe it. They're idiots. Boxing is the ones you could say anything in boxing, bro. Like I could sit here and tell you, yo, because he got an interim, he's the world champ. He's no, he's not, fam. But because of the point that Leo's making, in boxing, unlike other sports, you can get away with this shit. Like, yeah, they really calling Javante. Yeah, he a world champion, 3-division champion, and motherfuckers will repeat that shit back. He's a 3-division champion, y'all. He won the WBA Ordinary at 140. WBA Ordinary.
Let me tell you this: let's say this then. If Gervonta Tank Davis was a 3-weight world champion, then Gennady Golovkin has over 20 plus title defenses of that WBA baby belt. No, that's complete bullshit. When Felix Sturm had that the real belt, but you know the American media wanted to act like Felix Sturm didn't exist.
The main shit is that in America there's a level of toxicity, and I'm not gonna say that that any country is perfect, because in reality no country is perfect. But for this particular conversation, our toxicity as a society comes through in how we view sport. They want this to be like cliques. They want there to be tribalism. It's all, they want all this toxic. And really, look, bro, I'm here to see 2 dudes in one ring fight. That's it.
Chris, let's not act like Felix Sturm wasn't protected from Gennady Golovkin, man.
He was, though.
That sounds good, but at the end of the day, Gennady Golovkin had the WBA regular title that I think he went from Juan Simon. But hey, people wanted to say, oh, he has the similar title defenses like Bernard.
No, yeah, exactly. Because
but he had the other belts.
No, hold on. Let me say something real quick, because I want to respond to what Leo said, because it's funny that you mentioned soccer. Because they have such a redundancy of fucking trophies that it does remind me of professional boxing, where they do the same shit. They duplicate these fucking titles and they just water down the competition. And so it's easy to call this guy a fucking champion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, because that's what the titles do. The titles is basically a means of false advertising. Like, y'all remember when motherfuckers came out with cage-free eggs, but not all the eggs was cage-free, and omega-3. Y'all remember that shit? That some shit cage, and then couple of weeks later, Dateline to do a shit. That shit was not cage-free, my guys. That shit Was it a hit?
They say like most real like white people shit like, hey, what's not
okay? So what you're saying is that Gervonta Davis is the gluten-free champion.
He the like he's gluten-free.
Wait a minute, you guys gotta admit this. You all been watching boxing as long as I have. You gotta admit this. For a while there, and this is no fiction. For a while there, Triple G was avoided like the plague.
He was. Yeah. Wait a minute. Let's look. Because I'm not sweet on Triple G. I'm not, and I can say wholeheartedly.
Me neither.
Felix avoided him. Peter Quillen avoided him. For the first couple of years, Billy Joe Saunders avoided him, right? We know Chris Eubank avoided him. Lou DiBella could dress it up however he want. When they asked you about putting Sergio in that ring with that man while your boy Sergio had a belt, what you said? I'm not putting him in there with that animal. So what that sound like to you? And he was a champion. If he wasn't a champion, I would not say nothing. But he was a champion when you said that. He had the WBC.
You remember when Billy Joe Saunders? Remember when? Yes,
Yeah.
Remember this. Remember this, guys. Also remember this crazy shit that Billy Joe Saunders said when he was about to fight. Chris Eubank Jr. They said, "Hey, Golovkin would beat you and I on the same night." I said, "Oh, you piece of shit, bitch."
Yeah, like how you going to talk? Like, what kind of competitor are you? When you talking like that,
the man dry snitched on himself.
The thing about Golovkin is he got you know what this shit is? Look, I'm just gonna say it. It's a lot of people that felt that HBO did something for Golovkin that they didn't do for Ward. That's what they felt. They feel that way. And what I'm saying is Ward was in a tournament. One, this is what people don't say about Andre Ward. He had the misfortune of fighting at a weight that a lot of Americans don't watch because for the most part, super middleweight is predominantly a European division. Usually, there's a lot of Europeans in that division. Also, when you came into your success, Floyd and Manny was doing their thing. You was in the background of them. Everything took a back seat to them. When you was coming up, if it wasn't Floyd doing some shit,
it was Manny
doing some shit. So, that resentment that they have towards Golovkin is mostly because they feel that somehow, HBO did something for Gennady that they didn't do for Ward, when really it's simple. Gennady knocked people out and people like that shit. Mm-hmm. Like he make people bleed. I'm not going to tell you that his quality of competition was great because it wasn't. But that's what the fuck they liked about that dude. That you see what he did to Gabe Rosado is people. I used to argue this all the time.
I like that shit. I ain't gonna hold you. I was hyped when he fucked up.
I get it. I'm just saying that they didn't sell me with that. All I know is that HBO profits from Ward the same way they profit from Golovkin. So it is not in their best interest. It's not in their best interest to sabotage a dude that they spend money on. That doesn't make sense. All right, it's simple. This dude, he fight in a way that people, for whatever reason, they like it. And the other dude, he's in a division that a lot of Americans don't watch. Why you think it took so long for Chocolatito to pop? We all know the Americans don't watch the super flyweight division like that. He was busting ass for years. But Americans ain't know about that shit because they don't watch that shit. It ain't because HBO ain't trying.
HBO for doing that.
I feel you, but Andre Ward, I think he has a lot of vitriol and a lot of hatred. And I would like to speak to Andre Ward. If you ever hear this, Dre, I love you as a fighter, man. But at the end of the day, your style just didn't translate. It's fucked up that people didn't like you. It's that, but I think
you don't have to direct that to Dre. You have to direct that. You have hold on. You have to direct that to one at a time. You have to direct that to the people. Who's sleeping? You have to direct that to the people that keep thinking that they rolled out the red carpet for him, but they didn't roll it. Bullshit, bro. They put money into both, and if one ended up popping, that's not as a result of them putting money into him. That's because people gravitated towards that. It's the equivalent of saying, look, all right, you got a fighter that a lot of people like. You got a Derek Chisora, right? He got a bunch of fucking losses. He still get buku dollars. But why? Because people are behind him. You can't control people's fucking minds just because you invest. Look at how much Bob invested in Fury, and all he did was lose money. Look at how much Bob invested in Bud. Unfortunately, he lost money. It's not enough to make an investment. It's the people gravitating towards you that make all the difference. Because I could sit here investing in some shit and lose all the goddamn money I invested. For whatever reason, people gravitated towards G. They liked it the way he fought. It wasn't because HBO didn't try. They invested in both of the fighters. They don't win if one of them fails. That doesn't make sense. But the hate that Triple G got, that he still has, is because people feel that he was treated better than Ward. That's what they feel. And I don't agree with, like me, no, I don't agree with that. Ward's situation kept him out of the ring for 2 years, and that doesn't help. And then the fact that,
and also look at it. Look at the promoter. He did that too. That promoter also had a very good relationship, very good working relationship with HBO. The Goosens, for the most part, never really messed over people. And I think people at HBO saw what Andre Ward was trying to do, and they didn't really too much appreciate the corny shit that he did. Because real talk, it was a legitimate contract.
I'm gonna tell you what, I don't chalk it up to corny shit because G is a corny guy. He's a corny guy. If Canelo Alvarez, if you feel you got, and I say it every live like clockwork, if you feel you got robbed and then you see he tests positive for some shit, you deserve to lose the next fight, you bozo. You had him by the balls. Public opinion of you was very high. But what you did, you sold your soul and you motherfucking got what you deserve. You could have told Canelo, suck 3 dicks while I go become undisputed. And you better be here when I come back because you need this rematch more than me. Everybody think I won. I don't actually have to fight you again.
I wasn't talking about Gennady. I was talking about
off that disputed, draw and and unify with Saunders. But
I was talking about Andre Ward though. I was talking about Andre Ward because you got to remember he was in this contentious litigation with the Goosens, and also the Goosens has been known to be good people in boxing, and I think HBO looked at Andre Ward like, hey, that's some fucked up shit that you're doing there, especially they're doing good business by you. So that's just my conjecture.
This is what I'm saying. Ward might have did some corny shit with the Goosens, right? Golovkin did some corny shit. It's a lot of cats that did some corny shit. At the end of the day, I'm addressing the resentment that Golovkin gets as if he was treated like he was special. No, he wasn't. What you really mad at is you wanted everybody to like your guy, and you mad that they liked the goofy Golovkin cat. Well, so fucking what, bro? So you know what that tell me? That tell me that when you holler at a joint, if she don't give you no play, you probably gonna throw something at her like a fucking cornball. Cause that's that emotion. They're like, yo, stop expecting everybody to like you. Some people, they're not gonna like you, and they're not gonna like what you like, and that don't make them wrong. It's they fucking prerogative.
I mean, those that are complaining about Triple G, like, still, like, here's the thing. I'm like, with Ward, where were you guys with the 2 pay-per-views with Kovalev?
Thank you. Because I bought, see, that's why I fuck with Virtuoso. I said that shit 4 or 5 years ago when I bought the shit, and honest to God, I was really expecting it to do 3 and 4. And when I seen what it did, that was one of the moments I realized. That was literally like an important moment when I realized, yo, all these cats that be in these boxing groups that talk about shit all day, they don't buy shit. Because they full of shit. I had a group that had 60,000 people in it, my guy. And I'm like, y'all sit here talking about this shit all day, but I bought the fight. And I'm like, yo, they sit here talking about this shit all day. This social media shit is not a real representation of the actual consumer base in boxing. Because if you look in Facebook, it was no shortage of boxing groups. If you looked on YouTube, it was no shortage of boxing channels, Twitter, etc., etc. And that's when I realized none of these outlets are an accurate representation of the real consumer base in the sport, because if you looked at this, you would really think people was going to buy the fight. But when the numbers came back, damn near nobody bought the goddamn fight.
Julius, right now I'm looking at Ring IQ Boxing Talk. It's still 41.5 thousand people in that shit, bro. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't even fucking be in that shit because I'm like, why argue for free when I can make money doing that shit? And shit.
Word. Man, you're right, man. I was so disappointed when that fight said that it did like 170 the first one, and then the second one did even worse, right? It did like 120, 130.
Exactly.
Because what you're telling him, what you're telling you know, son of God, is that you're not a star, basically.
And I don't say that once again, like I do not want the things that I'm saying to be confused. I'm talking about the people that steal the pay-per-view. I'm talking about the people that want to get up every day and log into their little account to argue about shit that don't even buy shit. Just like I did with the Clarissa Shields shit. For all these people that try to come at me when I make a pound for pound list, that I actually followed her whole career. Her whole career. I bought her fights. You motherfuckers didn't. You don't get to argue with me about shit. You don't get to argue with me about shit.
What? Her pay-per-view did what? 15 or 20K? Come on, man. Stop.
And it was, you know what the sad part is? It was a $25 pay-per-view. It didn't cost nothing. I bought it.
I paid. I had to buy it. I had to buy it.
I bought it, and I'm like, and I maintain. I never said Clarissa wasn't one of the best boxers in the world. I never said that. I never said her quality of competition was bad. What I said, very simply, is it's harder, much, much harder to become undisputed at the lighter weights because when she was at super middleweight, there was only 13 ranked fighters. The other titles was vacant. Same at middleweight. Three of the 4 titles she won at middleweight wasn't nobody holding them shits. That's not the same shit Katie had to do. It's not the same, fam.
And to go back to that Ward, to go back to that Andre Ward stuff, the people don't want to admit the facts that Andre Ward did more to sabotage his career than anything else. He didn't want to travel outside of Oakland. He didn't want to go for the rematch of Froch. He didn't want to fight Butte. He tried to ride the coattails of Triple G Lemieux. When Ward got free from Goosen, rest in peace to Honorable Dan Goosen, that's the only way he got free because Dan passed. HBO approached Andre Ward like, look, we'll do the pay-per-view fight right now with Golovkin. Golovkin's team was like, what's up? Yeah, we'll do it. Let's go.
And
Andre Ward wanted 2 tune-ups. He wanted an Edwin Rodriguez. So and when you bring that up to Ward fans, they holler the tropes that we don't.
Drew, can I give you a retort? Drew, can I give you a retort? If I've been out for a long period of time, irrespective of
no, Chris, then don't scream for the fight. Simple as. Don't scream for the fight. Don't try to act like you was avoided. Don't, because that's always been my position. Don't
Chris,
act like
hold
on. Don't act like you was avoided when the other cat said, "Bet we could go now." And the conversation, because I remember what Golovkin said, and he said, "Listen, when we was in that board meeting, I said we could go now. You was the one talking about A, B, C, and D." That's what Golovkin said. I could go to the tweet. I could pull it up.
Chris, and my retort to your retort is, he never came down to 68, and Sugar Ray Leonard was out 2 years with a retina, and he went to Marvin Hagler. So we can cut that out right now.
That's true, but that's true.
I have always maintained for as long as this has been a polarizing subject, which I do know why, but I pretend that I don't. But it's simple. When Ward came back, he came back at 172 for Paul Smith. When he came back, he never returned to super middleweight. So when the fuck and where the fuck was they gonna fight? When? That window closed, fam. You couldn't make 68.
And here's something else, man. You got to remember this. My grandmother told me this a long time ago. She said, when a motherfucker don't like you, there ain't nothing you can say, nothing you can do to make them like you.
That's facts.
And Ward never fought Stevenson.
It's the same thing with Bud. It's the same thing with Crawford. If motherfucker don't like you, Ward, though, it doesn't matter what you do, who you fight, who you beat. It doesn't matter. They don't like you, and they're never gonna like you. They're gonna find a way to shoot you.
And let me say this. Look, for as much as you want to accuse Golovkin having a leg up in promotion by HBO, he was a more exciting fighter to watch than Ward. Me personally.
No doubt. No doubt.
And I say this, and listen, I say this about Berterviev as well, because last Saturday reminded me of him. A guy like that doesn't require a lot of torque or a lot of body movement to hurt you that badly with both hands.
Yeah, but let me say this, Virtuoso. This is why I don't say that, right? Golovkin was hyped up, no doubt about it. Certain things were embellished. and exaggerated like his title defenses. You didn't top Bernard Hopkins. Bernard defended a real title. You for
against
5
real
fights.
fighters. Against real fighters.
You for 5 fights. That he got 22. No, he don't. He got 15, and 5 of them shits was the same punk ass belt that Javante got. So let's be honest about the shit. Now I know that they didn't want to fight you, but you still exaggerating. All right, that's a Reggie belt. Them 5. That's a Reggie belt you talking about. You didn't. So how you going? My thing always was, how you gonna make him pound for pound number 1 in an era where the pound for pound fighters, they move up, fam? Floyd, Manny, Oscar, Felix, Roy. This is that era. This is not the Hagler era. And that shit used to chap my ass. Stop talking about Hagler. This is not the Hagler era. 168 is right there, bro. Cut it. Cut that shit out.
And let me say this though. People don't realize Andre Ward was afforded the same opportunities Triple G at HBO. Andre Ward was invited to those Game of Thrones premieres in LA, just like Triple G, to make the promotional rounds. He had every opportunity to sew up California. But the problem with Andre Ward is, and someone being from the Bay Area and living close to Andre and being in California, Andre Ward just didn't come off as a likable guy to the people.
No, he
Triple G did.
Look, man. All right.
So I'm talking in terms of like having access. He does come off a little arrogant and smug to people.
But if you beat people up for a living, you're not gonna be arrogant, though. Shit, I'm arrogant. I'm getting money, talking shit.
No, I get that. But the number 1 consuming fan in California is the Mexican fan base. If you can't get them to come to your fights and you from the state.
Bro, you told the story right there, though. I said this from the get when we got on Ward. He campaigned at a weight where the vast majority of fighters are Europeans and the consumers are not Americans. So that's already a handicap that you got that somebody else might not have. You know what I mean? That's one that was working against his marquee value. 2, what was working in his marquee value, unfortunately for him, you was coming up at a time when all eyes was on Manny and Floyd. You was in the backdrop of them. You wasn't going to take the spotlight off them with Mikhail Kessler, bro. It wasn't going to happen. You're not going to take the spotlight off them with Carl Froch. You're not.
And he didn't want to do the things to be a star, dude.
Wait. That's not his fault. But it was a hint, like in a realm of marquee value. Yeah, that's a handicap, fam. The same way Chocolatito was the 4-division unbeaten champion, but the Americans ain't give a shit because they don't watch they wasn't watching Superfly. They just now getting hip to now 115 and 118 and all that
Jules,
shit.
Had Andre played to his audience and went over there into Wembley for the rematch and went to Canada and played to the European audience, he would have.
You can't say that because Usyk did a lot of legwork that a lot of fucking Americans do not appreciate. So no, I do not agree with that. Usyk went to every man backyard and beat they ass in their backyard so that some casual dickhead could tell it wasn't nobody at them weights. They would have did the same shit to Ward, fam. They would have did the same shit.
And let's keep it a buck, bro. In terms of marquee value, you gotta remember George Groves, his third title shot was against Badu Jack after he fought Carl Froch in front of 80,000 people on what undercard? A Floyd Mayweather undercard. That just showed you Americans was not watching 168.
There wasn't like my point to you is you see how people like to talk about the cruiserweight division now, right? Some, and you see how some people like to talk about Usyk's undisputed. As dope as we think it is, it's still some slack jaw dumbass. It wasn't nobody. They'd have did that same shit.
They did that, but like I said, I always go back to the point. Andre Ward did more to hinder his ascension marquee value. Because even after the Chad Dawson fight, what was a highlight reel knockout, he wanted more money, and he started all this shit.
That is a fact.
There's a fair point in there. But all I'm trying to say is that if you a super middleweight, or if you campaign at a weight where Americans characteristically don't watch that shit, right? Doing shit just like Shelton said. They not gonna fuck with you, bro. I could sit here and tell you all about I could tell them all about Usyk. And just for the fact that he not from around the way, just for the fact that they don't watch cruiserweights, Just for they don't care about that shit. That's how their mind work.
And like you said, Jules, if Ward was knocking these motherfuckers out like Triple G was, okay then.
Dude, because you know why I don't say this is why I don't say that. Wasn't Wilder knocking bombs out? Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Did that make him? No, wait. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Wilder was knocking people out, but it's not. It's really what Shelton said. I can't put it no other way. When people don't fuck with you, they just don't fuck with you. And when they fuck with you, they just fuck with you, bro. I can't tell you that I was astounded. If you go back to the videos on this channel, 2017, 2016, that I did about Triple G, I was up to my ears with this, like, pound for pound number one. For what?
Okay, Julius.
Willie Monroe?
Julius,
Like,
I remember those videos too vividly.
Willie Monroe? Because he beat the shit out of Dominic Wade. He number one.
Yo, bro, I've been fucking with you since the Facebook Live days, and I remember
go back to them. Yes. I'm like, look, I think Triple G, and I said it before, I'll say it again. I said I think he was pound for pound, but not number one. That's crazy. Like y'all sound like lunatics saying this shit. Oh, he beat Curtis. Who Curtis Stevens? What? What the fuck are we talking about? If it don't, and who I had at number one when I first decided to start making lists was Chocolate motherfucking Tito. That was number one, right? Yeah. Then after he got knocked out, I believe it went to Ward, who subsequently retired. Crawford held it for a long time after that, and then it just started going back and forth between Canelo and then it was Canelo. Yeah, it was Canelo. After Crawford, it was Canelo, and he held the shit for a minute because look at the motherfucker's record. And now Usyk is in that shit. But it was, I'll tell you right now, two guys that have never been number one on my list. Golovkin, Lomachenko. No, you're exaggerating. When he beat Rocky Martinez, the whole media decided they need to start sucking dick. It's Rocky Martinez, fam.
Yo, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill, bro.
I could pinpoint the moment that they was on their fanboy shit. When he knocked out Rocky, I'm like, yo, fam, it's Rocky Martinez. Calm down.
Yo, the way you said it was so crazy.
10 to 15.
You gotta chill.
10 to 15.
Like that was the moment that the whole media, like, I'm like, yes, that's dope that he was able. That's dope that he was able to do that. And yes, I do rate him as a pound for pound fighter. You telling me that he number one because he beat Rocky Martinez?
Julius, let me tell you something. Yo, bro, I remember this vividly. They shitted on Roman Gonzalez being number one and acting like he didn't have a fucking catalog of fights going all the way back down to 105. Motherfuckers. I remember at those other channels at the LD.
Motherfucker, listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. Right now, the ESPN pound for pound list, Lomachenko. Where Chocolate Tito? They got the same number of losses. Where you at? No, he got what? No, he got Loma got 2 losses, right? You got 2 losses. Y'all love this month, and I don't hate Loma. I never hated none of these cats. What I hated was the way they were promoted. I hated, like, bro, like, stop, like, yeah, he alright. You saying he number one because he beat Rocky Martinez and Linares? You sound like a goddamn idiot. You sound like an idiot.
Adam Carolla, Jules. He beat Adam Carolla.
I mean, all right, but if I say, look, I would get into heated debates over the shit. I'm like, okay, so why do you rate Vasyl Lomachenko number one? I used to do this all day, Chris know, and they'll say, oh, because he moved up in weight and won a title. I'm like, okay, Crawford did that, but unlike Loma, Crawford is undisputed. So that Crawford and all this bullshit.
I used to watch all this shit, bro, like behind my screen and really look at these.
I said the same thing about I said the same thing. I like, yo, Golovkin, he's only been a champion at one weight. And his quality, how many champions has Golovkin beaten? Well, they don't want to. I didn't ask you about it. I said, how many champions has he beaten? And I say, well, look, Crawford went to motherfucking Scotland for Ricky. He beat the fuck out of Victor Pastor, who Danny Garcia ducked. Beat the fuck out of him.
And beat the shit out of Victor Pastor. Beat the shit out of fucking Lucas Matisse when Matisse was looking monstrous and shit.
Broke his eye bone, the other eye bone, right? And
beat Julius Sandargo, who knocked out Troynovsky in one punch in Russia.
And I'm like, what you're not going to do, you're going to sit here and ejaculate because Golovkin beat a guy like Wade or because Golovkin beat a guy like Monroe. But if I tell you Crawford went in there with a unified champion that won all his belts on the road, both of them, right? One in Russia, one in Scotland. If I tell you, yo, he beat that man, I see you dick suck. That's that media dick sucking. Like, bro, you don't think for yourself. You don't think.
Let's look at.
I like the Wade fight because Wade beat bitches up. So I like.
We didn't find that out till after the fact. We didn't find that out till after the fact.
I just like the window.
I'm gonna name some fights for you. We got Leonard Bundu. We got Lamont Peterson. We got Mikey Garcia. We got Sean Porter. We got Danny Garcia. We got Ocampo. We got Kell Brook. Give me the best win out of those 7. Give me the best win.
Kell Brook.
Kell Brook.
And beating Kell Brook, top 5, baby. Top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beat Kell Brook.
And that was a great win. And I say the same thing. But when people say, when I say, well, he's fought some good guys, but he really ain't fought no killers. Oh, you just hate no Errol. No, he really hasn't fought no killers. Lamont was too small. Mikey was too small. Leonard Bundu
Lamont was older too. Lamont had wars too. A lot of people don't know the Mir Khan fight and shit.
And these jokers like the fucking pull their pants down, show their own ass, and shit all over Crawford's record in welterweight.
Now listen,
really?
That's where the hate for Spence, because I a part of me does hate him. That's where the hate grew. Like, yo, do you want to like suck his dick or something? You trying to tell me because he beat Brook off an ass whooping, off top, pound for pound, beat Sean Porter, who was beaten by Brook, beat Danny Garcia, who was beaten by Sean, beat Ugas, who was beaten, and I could reverse engineer his resume, and it all goes back to the best guy you ever fought was Kell Brook, and I'm sorry to tell you this, beating Kell Brook don't make you top 5. I gotta chalk my shit. You ain't no lineal. You ain't no Ring Magazine. You don't know nothing about that. You've been trying to go undisputed for 5 years. Josh Taylor did that in 1. Josh Taylor did that in 1.5. Usyk did that in 1.5.
You never left. You never left welterweight ever.
Hey, Shelton and Jules, let me name Errol Spence's fight from his 16th fight onward. He fought Samuel Vargas, Phil LaGreco, Chris Van Heerden, Alejandro Barrera, Chris Algieri, Leonard Bundu, Kell Brook. This is when he won the IBF welterweight title. His first title defense was against Lamont Peterson. His second title.
Listen, you're not telling me nothing I don't know. Listen, this is
bad.
Wait, this is why I low key fuck with Loma, right? This is how I call it down the middle. After the Rigo fight that I said Loma was going to win that, like, yo, he going to make Rigo look bad. I said it, and everybody that picked Rigo has vanished, right? But I said it, and the video was up. Rigo is going to get embarrassed, right? So after the fight, they asked Loma, this, that, and the other. What Loma said, same thing I said. That's not his weight. He ain't like Spence. He not like Spence trying to make it sound like, I did some. No, that's not his weight, man. This is not a big win for me. That is not his weight. He kept it a bean. Bivol, in spite of all these nut huggers that are out here, right? You know what Bivol said? I don't feel I'm pound for pound. It's not his weight. I got the fucking shit saved to my phone.
Oh yeah, Bivol said that. I remember that. I respect
when I tell these nut hugging freaks that look, bro, he is a light heavyweight. You're not gonna sell me no bullshit. That is a light heavyweight. Canelo lost to a light heavyweight, all right? Size matters. Ask your girl. Size matters. Ask your girl.
Argue with your girl.
I told you before the fight. I said, you think this little motherfucker is going to go to 175 and beat this guy? You're tripping. You won't say.
And when I could pull it up. When Bivol himself say, I don't feel pound for pound. It's like they don't hit. Like, bro, I could show you when he said, no, he's pound for pound. The skills and the size have like, bro. All right, bro. All right, just go suck dick over there, bro. Just don't suck dick on my channel, bro, because you sound fucking stupid. If Bivol is saying that, look, he's not a bad fighter, but this is, it is what it is. You don't want to accept that. All right, just go suck dick somewhere else then, bro.
The LDBC PBC nut huggers was pissed off that white chocolate per se, Caleb Plant couldn't get the job done. So that's why they, latched on to fucking Dimitri Bivol. We all know that.
Caleb Plant's not gonna beat anybody with a chin. He has no pop.
We know that. That's why. But then you see Caleb Plant. You put that bullshit tweet out after Canelo lost. That shit made my stomach turn. That's like,
I thought better of him than that, to be that petty, because I just can't identify with petty shit. Like, I really can't. So
I don't even remember what he wrote.
He wrote some bullshit that I was like, see, this cat right here, bro, regardless of what Bivol did, you didn't do that. You didn't do that at all, Caleb. Same shit as Wilder. Same shit as Wilder after the Ruiz fight. I don't care how fat, how many donuts, how many pieces, how many trips to the hospital, how many artery. I don't care. He did that. You didn't do shit.
Why you have to get so morbid? Why you have to get so morbid after the trips to the hospital?
Why not?
Julius,
why not?
Why are you such a foul nigga, Jules? Like, what's good with you?
Let me say this. Okay, I know Julius has a beef with Errol Spence because the Terence Crawford fight hasn't happened yet. That's been 4 years. Okay,
it's been 5.
5. Fuck. Okay, I do. Look, I will not have such a deal with Errol Spence if he will fulfill his obligations as a champion. Look, he got into a cash grab. Okay, when you kept those belts, there's nobody asking for those belts for the chance to become a champion. We have Berger Ortiz, Stanionis, Butai, Butzenitz. Nobody gets a shot.
Nobody.
You can keep those belts, defended against Danny Garcia, who came as a mandatory. I don't know how. I know, but I don't want to.
We know.
Everyone knows. And then you unify with a guy that got elevated in Jordan Isugas to a full champion and defending his belt against a guy who spent 2 years out of the ring.
Yep. And we can see the hey, Jules, remember when they announced Spence Pacquiao? Oh, it's Pacquiao. It's the Pacquiao that beat De La Hoya and Cotto. Oh, we need that win. But they're
Canelo. How could you be excited that Errol is fighting a Manny that ain't fought in 2 years? If Canelo want to fight Golovkin too old, even though Manny was older than Golovkin is now.
Right, and he was
all the shit they give Canelo for not defending the belts, for not serving his mandatories. When was the last time Errol had his mandatories? Like when did he ever
4 years?
have that?
Yo, Danny Garcia
4 years.
wasn't a mandatory. Danny Garcia was just a self-defense. Ocampo, a guy that wasn't.
Virtuosos, please say that shit again, please.
Listen, when was the last time Errol had a mandatory?
Straight up.
Listen, Ocampo was the last IBF mandatory he satisfied. You don't see them ordering no Stamionis fight. They not ordering that fucking shit, even though it's like, all right, bro, what is happening here? Because you by yourself, and I'm not kidding, pay attention. You by yourself literally fucking up this whole division, the whole thing, the whole shit. Ennis need a title shot. He can't get it because you got the fucking belt. Stanionis need a title shot. Can't get it. You got the fucking belt. Virgil wants one. You got the fucking belt. Crawford can't become undisputed or even fight for it because you got the shit. So if you don't do this fight, bro, oh my God.
And he's talking about fighting Canelo at a catch weight. They're not looking for
Welterweight
Crawford.
Bro,
division.
he's trying to sell his
They
own.
got
He's trying
money.
to get
Outside of the fucking round robin the PBC had in 2016 to 2017, the fucking welterweight has been fucking stagnant, man.
It's terrible, bro. It's like the only division worse than welterweight is middleweight.
Yeah.
Yo, man, and that division was booming. Whenever Pacquiao and Floyd left that division was booming. So
No, middle, bro. Middle. Oh, you talking about welter, right?
Welterweight, bro. Like
Yeah.
whenever Pacquiao and Floyd left that division was booming. Like there were Zions on that division. So all they had to come and do is come through with the fights, and they would have made some good money. They would
middleweight, bro. Middleweight was booming when Jacobs, when Triple G, when Canelo, when Lemieux, when Billy Joe Sanders.
Cotto, también con Cotto.
Hey, Jules, Miguel Ángel Cotto.
Bueno, Joto sí, tú ves la chancleta que ese tipo usa, pero sin embargo, the division, listen, 3 to 4 years ago, middleweight was popping, right? And look at that shit now, bro. Nothing.
God, Charlo and Demetrius won the division.
That's middleweight.
But hey, I didn't like what Cotto was doing when he was fighting Cotto weight and Golovkin was tapping on his shoulders. I understand he was going to do it for his money.
At least people were fighting, bro. At least I'm not saying it was okay. I'm just saying that, at least motherfuckers was fighting, bro. Show me a fight at middleweight that is like Canelo and Cotto happen in America. That's a big ass fight.
900,000 pay-per-views, 15 million at the gate. Yo, that was a big ass fight.
Yeah. That was a big ass fight.
Yo,
Charlo bitch ass can't decide if he want to unify or not. He talking about unifications now.
Hey, the best fight we've got in middleweight. No, well, besides Murata Triple G, Montiel versus Charlo. That's the best middleweight fight we've got in the last. Forget Triple G Murata, bro. Montiel,
man, Charlo and Triple G.
Bro, I watched their fight.
They did.
Montiel was putting hands on Charlo.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. You know why you don't see me going in on Triple G as much about the state of the middleweight division, because this whole basket unified.
Bro,
didn't Charlo now wait, did Charlo not have the opportunity to unify before Golovkin Murata?
Yeah, man. Bro, hey, man, I feel like the PBC could have capitalized on that opportunity with Murata too. They would have sent Charlo over there?
No, they're not. They gotta listen to their daddy Al Heyman. Al Heyman wasn't gonna have him go over there.
He wasn't going.
Bro,
he wasn't going to send that man over there, bro.
They were normal people. Let's say they were normal people, but they're not normal people. So
no.
It's more like you know what this shit is. It's like this. All right, you got to get while the getting is good. I remember Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson. Evander had to take little money to make it happen because he believed in himself. My man, Devin Haney, he had to take less than what he felt he deserved, and he got to travel. And dad can't come, and Cut Man held up at the airport, but he believed in himself. You know what I mean? Now, Charlo, piece of shit, you don't believe in yourself. You won't travel. You waiting for somebody to beat you. That's what you're doing. You trying to sell your belt and your unbeaten record. You don't believe in yourself. What kind of world is it where you got beef with a cat that's your professional rival and you don't want to fight him? You got beef with Andre, right? And you don't want to fight him. What kind of weird shit are you
on that bitch shit? That's what is he on?
I said any cat that's putting product and peroxide in their shit.
Oh please!
He likes getting robbed in New York. Bro. He likes getting robbed in New York. He likes getting pressed by Danny Jacobs and his cousin doing more of the talking. He likes that. Jared Hurd ran up on him. Like he likes
no motherfucking way. I'm gonna sit my head over the sink, pour the peroxide on my shit, or go to the salon and had a Kool-Aid packets on my shit. Like, no, you wildin', fam. One way or another, you doing some fugazi ass shit. One way, because it ain't going to just end up like that, fam.
He's in there
Cisco in boxing. Phoenix, B.
He's in there pouring peroxide on his hair, thinking about Canelo. Oh, please don't go and wonder why.
He's a funny nigga.
Who was a better win? Hold on. Who was a better win? Terrence Crawford versus 6 foot Jose Benavidez Jr. or Errol versus Little Mikey? I would say the guy who fought the 6-foot guy because Mikey ain't proved shit as a welterweight. And I said that's gonna be a tune-up fight. I said Mikey, shit. I did say I thought Mikey would get knocked out. I don't give Mikey credit because you didn't fight. And Errol, you hit that man 365 times and you ain't even hurt his feelings. Right? So that whole fight sucked. If
and
you
bring it up.
Wait. If you gonna fight some little ass motherfucker, he need to bleed. That's like when Loma fought a little ass motherfucker, made him quit. When Golovkin fought a little ass motherfucker, he broke his face. When Canelo fought a little ass motherfucker, he knocked him out. All right.
What about when Oscar fought Gotti? Didn't he knock him out?
Beat the shit out of him, all right?
You forgot though, Jules. He was showing everybody he could box.
Bullshit. All right. All the cats that fought some little ambitious motherfucker, they beat his ass. Errol the only weirdo out here, Mikey fist pumping after every round. You know why he doing that? Because you probably don't even hit that hard, fam. And I don't know if I believe you broke Ugas bone either. I think they lying. I think that whole shit was about propping up Errol. Because I said it before and I said it again. That was a weird looking fight. Weird.
Bro, he got hurt and nothing happened afterwards. That was some bullshit. He should have got taken out of there. What are you talking about? Nigga got hit super hard, nigga. What are you
funny
talking
thing, we got to go back to this real quick because we brought up Andre Ward Kovalev. The real crime in that shit was the second fight where Kathy Duva got to put $0 on Kovalev's purse sheet for the fucking commission, yo. That shit was right.
That's fucked
up. That shit was nasty. That shit.
But I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you why I ain't feel sorry for Sergey because of that T-shirt. Fuck you.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh yeah.
But like I ain't gonna. This is gonna be a real insensitive joke. But like, hey, Sergey, you like punching women, right? Kathy, right there. What happened?
No, that's not funny. That's not funny. That's not funny. Listen,
$6 million for that fight.
This is a family channel.
It's a family show.
But yo, Kathy,
I'm just saying. All I'm gonna say.
You're right. But you know what the karma thing is, though, Chris. You don't see her in those big fucking. You don't see her banner in any of these big fights, do you? Just like Don King, right?
Main events as an outfit. I mean, they still got fighters though. Don't ever be fooled. They got fighters, but they not operating at the level that they were when they had Sergey. You know, they had a stallion in Sergey. They don't really got stallions like that no more.
So one horse town.
And there's good karma in Sergey because Sergey's getting that money that Golden Boy owes him in litigation.
I don't think he's gonna get shit, my guy. When you test positive, remember, Golden Boy got you a fight. You fucked it up. They got I said that when it happened. Golden Boy held up their end of the bargain. They held up their end of the bargain because they actually made the fight. You did something.
Juiced up. Yo, it's crazy. They can assume that he was juiced up during the Canelo fight too. He was juiced. If he tested positive,
you never know.
Bro,
you never know.
You never know.
That's his credit. But they knocked out and juiced.
Because it's not like they didn't. It's not like you sat around waiting for a fight that they never made. They made a fight, man, but you fucked it up. So I don't know if you gonna get shit. You probably not gonna get shit.
Is Polo still in here?
Polo right there.
Polo, why do you not like Bam and you like Ryo over Bam? What's wrong with
Well, I like Bam. I like Bam, bro. He's chewing on more than what he can get, bro. He's fighting one of the biggest punches in the division, so. And I like SSR. I just don't think he can hang with SSR. I would like to see him go to 112 and fight Sonny Edwards or Bomba or the SSR, bro.
Yeah, I fuck with Jesse. I'm going to keep it real. And I fuck with Virgil, too. So I'm just going to keep it real. I fuck with them.
But I'm just saying that, damn, Bam is chewing on more than what he can handle. That's all I'm saying, man.
I'm going to say this, Polo. This where we a little different. Where you probably not crazy about Bam, I'm not crazy about Zerto, bro. I'm just gonna keep it real. I know you fuck with him, and I respect it, but I don't. The way you fuck with Zerto, I fuck with Bam like that. Like I fuck with Bam, bro. Like that's some real shit. Motherfucker jumped 2 weight classes because it's a world title shot, and motherfucker looks sensational in the quad. And Quadras is not no bitch neither. He was old, but he not no bitch.
So how do you think?
So you're a favorite?
That's the behavior. That's the behavior That's the behavior of a fighter. What Bam's doing.
No, but I have a question, Julius. So you would favor him over Gallo, over Chocolatito right now if he was to fight him?
No, of course not, bro. But I dig the
brave.
No, of course not. But it's the courage, my guy. It's the bravery. They're like, yo, you really gonna go up there? You ain't. Remember, Bam had not fought in a 12-round fight before, bro. He didn't.
I rock with Bam heavy, bro. Like for him,
he literally did not fight in a 12-round fight. I'm like, yo, this dude is with the shit.
Bam got balls, bro. That was
and that's what we that's what we he took it on short notice. That's what we want. That's what we want from fighters. That's the history of combat. Not I might not win. Like, nah, fuck him. What's up?
Like, nah, I gotta do my cuticles first.
Nah,
no, I gotta do my toes.
I gotta get a pedicure. I gotta go cut my hair.
Real shit.
The thing I get mad about, Jules, is these fighters now are lucky they wasn't in the days where Frankie Carbo and them was running boxing. Like, oh, you're stinking up the joint. You ain't gonna pay. We ain't gonna pay you your purse
because you couldn't. See, it's a lot of sucker shit, right? And I'm gonna say this too: the meek have inherited the earth, so that's why we see a lot of sucker shit that when we were children was not tolerable. It's a lot of like Ryan, bro. I'm just trying to tell y'all. Just imagine, get this image, right? Ryan is a lightweight, right? Imagine him in the Duran era.
Oh my God!
Forget Duran. De Jesus would murder.
No, that would have been bad. I think that would have been even worse because I think
Chavez. Put Lara and Rigo and all. Put Lara, Rigo, guys.
Put Lara in there with Mugabe, prime Mugabe.
No, not even that. You put him there in the 40s and 50s with that style. The promoters ain't paying them.
Motherfuckers is going to popcorn and pellet the shit out of you because that minimalist approach. Like, listen, save that bullshit for the amateurs, bro. Save that bullshit. People do not pay to see that shit.
Steve Kim told stories about with Manny Stewart and all this guy. Like, if you did that, you wasn't getting paid.
Because there's this thing, and I said this, it's a byproduct of the Mayweather era. Do I blame Mayweather? No, I blame the dudes that want to suck his dick. Stop telling me you excited watching Lara and Rigo. No, the fuck you not. No, you not, and I don't believe that shit. Motherfucker posted on Twitter, Casemiro and Rigo was the sweet science. You crazy?
Boring. No, but I like Lara style.
That was the worst fight I ever seen.
That was the worst fight probably this year. But Lara style right now, I do like Lara when he fights, but he is boring.
I don't know. That Frankie Sanchez fight was pretty fucking atrocious.
Listen, the only reason Lara is becoming a little bit more fan friendly, he's getting older and his legs are going. So he's getting forced into exchanges now. That's why I'm like, it's more tolerable now. When he had his legs, bro, he going Nancy Kerrigan and shit all night, sliding around like, bro, I don't want to see that shit. What the fuck is entertaining about that?
Like, for example, you know Frank Martin, the prospect. He moves around the ring, but when it's time to fight, he fights. He moves judiciously. He's not moving officiously. Like, for example, like, I love Lara, bro. That's my guy. I fuck with him. But, like, I watched the Canelo fight, man. He moved a lot.
Bro, listen, this is why I like Sandor Martin. Sandor move around the ring a lot. He is a moving target the whole fight. But he's countering while he's moving. He's throwing, in other words. That's the main throw, bro. What makes him set something up? But Lara, bro, you moving to be moving. Rigo, what?
That's the worst case. Rigo is worse.
Go back and watch that Casemiro fight, bro.
Oh my god, bro. He was just literally. Bro,
I miss old Rigo though. I ain't gonna hold you. I do miss old Rigo, the Rigo with the in and out movement. But now, he looks.
But those days, I said it before the Lomachenko fight. Those days are over. Motherfuckers hated, and this is the other thing that doesn't get said. They hated Donaire, and the hate that they had for Manny, they put it on Donaire, and Rigo beat the shit. Yeah, it's one fight, bro. What else did he do? I dig it though. Like, he beat Donaire. You know, Donaire's great fight. You know, Donaire could be a great fighter, and Rigo could be a great fighter. You dick sucking motherfuckers want to turn everything into a goddamn tribal warfare. Everything got to be a tribal. No, Donaire was a great fighter, and Rigo beat him. Now show me another fight like that Rigo got.
He never capitalized after that one, bro. Everything sucked after that.
I gotta ask you though. I gotta ask you that, Jules.
He never capitalized after that one.
Prior to Rigondeaux's style right now, did you like him as a fighter? Real talk.
Like him, yes. When he was more in and out, the way he was with Amagasa, that he'll come in and out, and deck the shit out of you. Yes, that Rigo I fucked with. But
yeah,
I knew even from the Jazza Dickens fight, which was before the Loma fight. I seen they're like, yo, you don't do enough, bro, and you're not helping yourself. If you want money, right? This is the entertainment business. You have to entertain. I don't want to hear it. This is the entertainment business. So when you don't get the money that you're looking for, when you don't get treated right, I don't want to hear it. Who the fuck you think want to see that shit? Who? Now, he did break Jazza Dickens' jaw face, to his credit, but you could see in the aesthetic of the match, they're like, bro, you just don't be doing a lot for whole chunks of the fight. You really don't be doing a lot. And even if boxing heads know, you know, you're good and you're skilled and they could appreciate it. Hey, you ain't trying to get at their money. You trying to get at Joe Blow money so you can get treated right. And that's why your whole career, it was the way that it was, bro. Stop with the guilt trips. Stop with the guilt trips and work it the fuck out, bro. Work it out.
You're right about that.
Work it out, because my man, and that's why I love Chisora so much, because he's the shining example. Go out there and put on a show. Win or lose, the money will be there. Go out there and put on a show.
Jules, Derek Chisora is our Nate Diaz.
So it's like motherfucker can say what they want. The Parker fight was a good fight. The two White fights was good fights. The Fury fight, the first one, is a good fight. Like, I could name mad Derek Chisora fights that they were entertaining fights. The Takam fight, entertaining fighter, right? That man gonna go out there, he gonna win, he gonna lose, but he will entertain. And that's the point. Now, if you think that being safe and staying way out there, yeah, he's so skilled. I'm like, God, he's fucking, bro, all he doing is staying on the outside. That's it.
Yo, you be killing me when you be doing that shit. That shit
because these wait, Chris. Because they try to lie and they try to perpetuate he's so skilled. Oh my God, do you see how he skills? And the skill, you know what skill is? When you could be in the pocket and roll and ride the shots and come over with that's skill. You so far on the outside, you're not even in a fight. Not in a fight.
And the funny thing is,
you way out there.
The hilarious shit about that, Jules, is that is skill and slick, and Chocolatito is not slick.
Let me say this. They don't know. They think they know. They think they know. You don't know the difference between a Tony and a Whitaker, a Rigo and a Lara. They don't know. They don't know. And it's a glaring difference that Pernell will make you miss while he in front of you. He'll be right in front of you, right there with you. And you missing all type of shit. All right,
Pernell slipping rainwater, bro. Let's keep it a buck. Pernell so slick, rainwater can't touch.
All right, Tony, you're not gonna be bored watching James, and he in the pocket with you. All right, now you want to fake it as if Lara and Rigo is dead. No, they not. These are guys that stay so far on the outside. You're not in a fight, guy. You are not in a fight. I don't know what but this is not if you way out there. He can't hit him. You can't hit him, and he can't hit you. So how's it a fight?
Pernell Whitaker is the embodiment of what Nazim Richardson said. You have to swim without getting wet.
Say it one more time, baby.
You have to swim without getting wet. And
well, the beautiful thing and not for nothing, I know you don't like him, Drew. I'm like, it's cool to each their own. But that's why I did like Ward. Ward was a mid-range, the inside guy that'll work close to the other guy. So even if he don't hit, I still like watching him work in the pocket.
He could be ugly.
Here's the thing. I didn't like. I could respect Ward's willingness to fight. I didn't like there was moments where Ward could put the guy away, and he had the opportunities there to put them away. He just didn't do that.
I'm just I favor the action, right? And it's not that I'm a power merchant or a knockout merchant, but I need to see something happening. And with these fakes like just skill, oh my God, bro, he's just moving lateral and stand on the perimeter of the ring, bro. Cut the fuck. Sanad Gashi did that fucking shit with Derek Chisora.
It's the same thing, like Jules. Would you compare like what Tony does in the pocket, like him and Ward would be there. It'd be ugly sometimes, but they're not going nowhere. They're right there for you to hit.
It's what the word that I'm looking for is guilt trip, because they try to guilt trip you into, oh, you're supposed to feel bad if you don't like this. You're not a real boxing fan if you don't want to watch Rigo ice skate around the fucking ring without throwing a punch for 2 minutes at a time. Suck my dick. I don't give a shit. That fight sucked. Casimiro as a fight was awful. Lara versus Gache was fucking awful. All right? I couldn't wait for him to lose that belt. That's why I picked Jarrett Hurd to beat his ass, and he beat his ass.
But he gave Jarrett Hurd hell on earth, though.
Don't do that. He beat his fucking ass.
Don't start with that.
Ain't no booby consolation condom prizes in here.
Nah, that was a close fight. That was a close fight.
That shit. I ain't see Jarrett Hurd get knocked down in that fight. I ain't see that shit.
Hey, the scores had Lara up before the knockdown. If the knockdown had happened, Lara would have won the fight.
Remember that Lara went life and death with Pedro Angulo.
Exactly.
And broke his face.
Lara, listen. Lara should have lost against Molina. Why when Molina said, "Let me get the rematch," he said, "Oh, I'm good, bro.
Nope.
I'm good."
He was good. Carlos Molina. I remember Carlos Molina.
That's a fact.
Hey. That should have been Canelo's fight, actually, right there. That should have been I don't know what Oscar was doing or what he saw, but he did not want to make Molina. But Lara should be thankful, man. They didn't put that fight out there for people to see.
All I'm saying is outside. If I have a bias, it's not a bias against pure boxers, because not all pure boxers, not all of them, are completely outside fighters. But when you have guys that are low volume, they want to stay way out there. They just want to move. I'm like, bro, I don't want to see that. I don't. You're not gonna lay into the other guy. Nothing's gonna happen. You all fucking like, I don't want to see that shit, bro. So what were
Lara's best entertaining fights? The
Angulo, Molina, and Brian Castano and Jarrett Hurd. All pressure fighters.
How did that Paul Williams fight go? I can't remember off the top. I only watched that Paul Williams fight once.
The P. Will fight. That was a good fight, though. That was a good fight.
He beat the shit out of Paul Williams.
That was a good
fight out of Paul Williams.
He did.
That was karma from Paul Williams getting a unanimous decision against Sergio in the first fight.
No, that was karma for Lara. Fucking Robbie Molina.
Bro, shit. What I'm gonna say is, yeah, that's literally what I was gonna say. Pew, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I see you on the spaces. I see you on the lives. I am gonna go live.
Zone. We'll see you on the dead zone.
I am gonna go live this weekend for Rodriguez versus Sorum V-Side. I'm gonna go live for that. Great fight. McCaskill versus Iwata. Great fight. Motherfucking. For those that don't know, MJ Akhmadaliev is also on that card. He's supposed to be fighting Ronnie Rios. Let's see if he makes it past Ronnie Rios, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm running out of patience with MJ. I really am.
What did he do?
Because he's not trying, bro. Like, is he talking about fighting Stephen Fulton? I hear Inouye and Fulton going back and forth more than MJ. And MJ right there at 122.
Maybe Inouye sparks MJ. More of a MJ doesn't look like someone to go on the mic and start talking. He stays to himself. Maybe he's planning to fight them. He just, he's quiet.
Bro, I need undisputed, bro. That's all. I'm just saying that.
Rodriguez is gonna win.
Who?
I got Bam.
Jesse Rodriguez. Yeah, Bam is my guy, man. Bam is my guy. But gentlemen, always a pleasure. See you on the next live.
Peace.